What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Runeterra Academy. Sophomore Saturdays, baby. We getting right back into it. Honestly, TDS, I'm not gonna lie, man. It feels like we were just here yesterday, bro. I don't know what it is, man. I'm already
Yeah,
hyped though.
I feel like essentially the last games we saw went by so quickly that I think it happened yesterday, and I wouldn't be you wouldn't be wrong if we actually happened yesterday. But we have new set of games, new set of teams, and something exciting to see hopefully today.
For real, for real. Like you said, a new set of teams tonight. We got Collective Calamity going up against Fever. Damn, man, it's getting hot in here, man. These are both two teams. That was like the easiest pun to make, so I had to make it. Both of these teams, right? Okay, it's getting serious right now. Both of these teams so far are both 1-0, right? So that means tonight, one of these teams is gonna have to take that first deciding L, the one that hurts the
Yep.
most, the one that kills the most mental. And I'm just hyped to get into it, honestly.
It is second week, so it's kind of the the end of the win streak that lasted just one series essentially. So it does hurt, but I feel like it's probably lesser than other wins. But we're going to get a team that, like you're pointing out, it's going to get their first loss, and it actually matters sometimes because some teams take their first loss worse than other teams. So if any of these teams actually is like that, this can actually impact a lot of or of their team season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like it's that first loss. Some teams that can just kill the mental. Other teams could just kind of shake it off. But we'll have to see which one it is. That being said, though, I mean, let's just not even waste time. We've been keeping the people waiting. Let's get right into the draft and see what's going on. Let's take a little look here. Mm, Wait for there we go. There we go. I mean, I was worried I was about to get left hanging and not get into the draft.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go through the bands really quickly. Coming up from Fever, we do have Blitzcrank, Trundle, and Jinx in their first round. And from Collective Calamity, we've got Khaled, Morgana, and Ziggs. Any kind of surprising bands that you see in there?
The Blitzcrank, essentially, I feel like the other, well, actually, a lot of support focus, but this is a champion that I was thinking about how it can potentially impact the meta thanks to its global impact that, like the Shen, you can kind of impact a lot of places without the use of teleport, and it's the Kled. Like, I feel like teams are sleeping on this champion, but I feel like he has quite a lot of potential
Mm,
to begin impacting the meta in a manner that we probably haven't seen just yet. But still, apart from that, I feel like pretty typical bans. I think that Blitzcrank beginning to appear much more, so I'm liking that ban. And then immediately looking at the picks, I feel like a lot of things we already know about and that we love and hate, right? Like the Corki Victor meta, it's
yeah.
not changing much, but also the Xinjiao Jarvan 4 that kind of already established themselves as probably the most important and most proactive kind of junglers right now in the current meta.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, really, honestly, no surprise that Blitzcrank coming out as well because we know that Bully over on the side of Collective Calamity, he loves pulling out that Blitzcrank. When times get tough, Blitzcrank comes out, man. He's been putting
It's
numbers
the
up on
answer.
the board, like 20 something assists most of his games. So, no surprise there. And the picks, of course, though, that does mean that on the side of Fever, he does get to I'm saying here I don't even drop the name award does get out his try and true Victor, so I'm gonna be curious to see how it kind of performs when it comes to that. And I mean, like we said, right, we've got that whole Corki Victor kind of prevalent in the mid lane meta, so no surprise there. And with the ADCs both getting picked out already, Caitlyn for Fever and Ezreal over a Collective Calamity, what kind of supports would we want to kind of see going into those?
I feel like with Caitlyn, you want to have that enchanter support, or at least setup support for the Caitlyn, be it in the form of a lane bully, or
Mm,
with someone that can set up for the traps potentially coming down for the Caitlyn. That's kind of the modus operandi that I like a lot with the Caitlyn. One of those could be the Cillian that it's getting banned away because you can get the stuns with the double bombs set up for the traps, or the movement speed and the poke that the Cillian does allow as well. So overall, I like the idea of the ban. And the other thing that I can see here coming for the Ezreal is likewise the enchanters, much more so than the tank engaged supports, because against the Caitlyn, the Ezreal may lose quite a bit of pressure and priority in the lane
mm.
phase. So you ideally would like to be able to contest equally to the Caitlyn. So getting an enchanter would work marvelous with the Ezreal. The ideal one would have been the Karma, but since Karma is taken away, I feel like you probably have to consider either the Lulu, which is not the best of pairings with the Ezreal, or go for a much more damage-oriented style of support in the bot lane. Because if you can get poked down, either way, like the composition from Collective Calamity already is kind of setting up for a poke potential with the Corki and the Ezreal.
Yeah, so then I mean, from the side of CC, we did see that Azillion and Lux were banned. So no surprise, they're kind of two enchanters getting dropped out, and
Yeah.
they are gonna go with the Braum. Okay, that might just be able to kind of keep Ezreal a little more protected, keep him safe from these like massive damage numbers that are gonna be coming out from Caitlyn and Karma as well. I mean, people know that that level 1 Q from Karma, that's no joke.
Yeah, it's not going to be something quite easy to play around. And I feel like Braum, even though can work out, like my only problem is that it still helps or accentuates the issue of the Karma and the Caitlyn being quite poke heavy in the bot lane. So
Mm,
if you get poked out as the Braum, even with your shield, like it's kind of hard to be able to play around this. With the droning up of the Gragas though in the top lane, it can okay.
ooh.
The Gragas in the top lane can work really well to try and get that tanky front line to help disengage and engage, especially with so much amount of poke in your composition. You do want to take away opponents from your carries. But now Fever with the counter pick top lane, opting for the Aatrox, and I'm not a fan of this. I'm
Mm,
honestly not a fan of this because one thing that I liked from their composition was the control that they had for objectives in the form of the Caitlyn and the Victor. Like controlling areas for them would have been really good. But with the Aatrox, now they are kind of forced to try and make fights happen because if not, you pretty much lose a lot of value of the Aatrox.
yeah, definitely. I mean, it is nice to see that they're bringing on someone a little bit more tanky because before that, I was going to say that really Xin Zhao is going to be kind of like their only main engage, right? You're going to be kind of
Yeah.
prioritizing hitting those wind becomes lightning and then get in there, pop the crescent guard, try and soak up as much damage as you can. Obviously, Victor will most likely will see him build a Crown of the Shadow Queen. But as soon as that pops, then he's going to be very exposed unless he's incredibly ahead. And so with the Aatrox coming out, that is going to allow them, like you said, they do want to kind of start these fights. But if they do get into them, it's definitely going to be a lot safer for them, to say the least. They're having a lot more people who can kind of peel for them. On the side of
Yeah.
CC, though, I kind of really like what I'm seeing there, especially you've got Gragas to initialize, you've got Braum, L, you've got Jarvan as well. But how you feeling just from looking at the teams itself? Who do you think's coming out on top?
Like after watching the promo, I was kind of skeptical, but with the addition of the Gragas into the mix, like the side of collective Calamity has a really nice frontline and disengage potential to allow for their carries, and I think that's so ideal because even though the Aatrox kind of fulfills a nice point in trying to force or trying to make something happen effectively, or at least trying to make something happen, the problem is that as long if he gets disengaged immediately, there's not really a measure to try and re-engage, in my opinion, from the side of Fever. Like when you
Hmm.
look at it, it's Aatrox and Xinjiao going in. If they don't get the value out of their ultimate duration or their first round of cooldowns, then who else can force fights or who else can play around those fights? And when you look at the range difference, I feel like right now the range would be kind of similar, if not for the fact that the Corki and the Ezreal don't really need to worry about going into certain areas to be able to poke out. Meanwhile, for the Victor and the Caitlyn, they do need to get into a certain position to get the most out of the range. So
Hmm.
I just feel like Collective Calamity rounded their composition a little bit better, and it's going to allow them to be much more balanced in how they can take some fights. For Fever, they really need to either be ahead or force the issue effectively, because if not, I feel like they are just getting outscaled.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that. Like you were saying, right? Those positioning as well. You've got Ezreal, Arcane can just Arcane shift out of there, right? Corki just use that Valkyrie, just get out of these sticky situations. While Caitlyn, sure, you got the 90 caliber net, but that really doesn't cover as much distance as you'd like it to. You kind of
Yeah.
have Karma with the shielding, but is it going to be enough? Is really the question. Now, if you were the side of Fever, what are you kind of looking to do in these first, let's say, like 10 minutes of the match?
If I'm from the Fever side, well, from what I can look, I think that you will have a lot of priority and a lot of control
Hmm.
in the three lanes. Like I'm not 100% sure of how the Gragas Aatrox matchup should look like, but Kaelin Karma should be able to run to put pressure in the bot lane and try and get control of the wave. Same with the Victor, it's kind of contested, but Victor against Corki, Victor can get the better out of the Corki in the early stages, so that lane already should be advantageous. And I think that as Xin Zhao, you should try and look quite a lot into either putting the Caitlyn Karma so ahead that the power trap from the Caitlyn doesn't exist, or putting the Aatrox so ahead that he can become a menace on his own. In the sense that
Okay.
he will, with the first item, be able to solo both the Corki and the Ezreal. That's kind of the thing that you may try and look with the Aatrox, and that's kind of the best way that I can see the side of Fever snowballing and getting a control over the game, because if they don't get the lead, like equal state of game going into the mid game, I can just see being much more favorable for the side of Collective Calamity.
Okay, that's interesting to see. And I gotta say, I was a little surprised as well that I snort crayons. I cannot say that name with a straight face, but is opting as well for the Caitlyn, which honestly is not something that he plays quite as much. A lot more kind of Zeri and Aphelios coming out from him. So I'm definitely interested to see how he's going to be able to kind of pilot that Caitlyn, especially with the Karma. If we're going to see them out damage and be just out poking, or if they are going to, like you were saying, in the worst case scenario, sort of fall behind and then be somewhat not useless, but simply not as effective as you would like to see them be. And so I believe with that, we will just honestly, the only one way to find out, just get on the Rift and we'll throw it to a quick break. And then when we're back, we'll be on the Rift for game number 1. Don't go anywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this thing started. Okay, okay, come on, man. This is like the
Dude,
first 30
Cooper
seconds,
wins.
and they're already they've already won, dude. They drew first blood. Come on, a little bit of friendliness, please. All right, but
Yeah,
that
no.
being said, we're in this thing. Okay,
Another one.
man, it's disrespect at this point. That's just not okay. Come on, we can't be doing that around here. Okay.
I'm kind of disappointed in Gordon. He's not dodging any of the lands.
Yeah, dude, he's like, I do not care.
Another one.
Okay, okay. No, no, nah. This happens one more time. I'm leaving, bro. I'm not even gonna do this.
I think, yeah, Gordon thinks the same.
Okay, they're both gonna go ahead fall back into their jungles here. We got that typical kind of football style lineup here. So both gonna be starting blue, both are gonna be pathing into opposite directions. How are we feeling about that path down to the bot lane coming out actually not from the side of a Fever, but rather from Collective Calamity?
I'm kind of interested in this because, like I pointed out, Gordon has to focus quite a lot on the side lanes, and this focus towards, or this clear potential towards the bot lane, it's potentially going to be so that you can get ahead the killing and the karma and never visit that lane. At least is what I think about from the side of the Xinjiao. And in response from Cooper, he probably thinks the same is going to happen, especially after seeing how some of the trains went at the start and some potential raiding from the jungler. I think that he may think the same, and he wants to counter jungle so that he can leave his bot lane there in a good enough spot, and then just look towards protecting the Gragas for as long as possible and making these Aatrox useless. So kind of a similar mindset, but a different way to respond from each jungler.
Okay, okay. Definitely. It's gonna be interesting to see how things do end up playing out. Already, we're kind of seeing the side of oh my god, Fever. There we go. My bad. It just had my brain just straight up lag there. Already pushing into that bot lane. All right, it's like we were talking about. They're gonna be out poking, doing quite a bit of damage in that early game. So Collective Calamity is definitely gonna have to be a bit careful about that.
Yeah,
Interested to
it's
see
a
here.
it's quite a hard lane to try and pretty much play because you're getting completely outpoked and completely attacked consistently. So for Collective Calamity, like you're pointing out, they need to be careful and they need to not take so much poke because that's going to be the easiest way for Gordon on the Xinjiao to try and get their spot. Now, quickly, just to touch on looking at the clears from each jungler, Gordon is potentially going to be, yeah, they're going to meet here.
Oh.
Okay, nothing is happening then.
I was hyped, but nah, nothing gonna come out of that. A little bit of scuffle here. We do a Fever just establishing dominance over who's gonna be getting that scuttle crap.
Yeah,
Gordon's like, listen, I'm not. I took that abuse at the start, and now it's gonna pay dividends. I'm getting my revenge, so he is gonna grab that scuttle crab. And so both junglers kind of hovering over, looking for that kind of initial engage here. Very nice board placement though, so Cooper will get spotted out. Nothing should come out of that gank. And so Gordon's just going to show a little bit of presence. I got to say, very nice to see that Stubby actually realized, okay, my jungler's in that bot river, right? Let me get this Rift Herald, not Rift Herald, that'd be nice. The Rift Scuttler started for him. That way he can just pull up, grab it, easy gold, and we have so much more vision in comparison to Collective Calamity.
Yeah, doing a really nice job to keep up the pace in terms of the kind of camps that you can go for, and particularly much more so because one thing that I really liked from Fever that they did was they got the early push in the wave. They didn't keep on pushing, but instead just let the wave accumulate in a spot and then crash towards their turret. So look at the bot wave. It's in such a safe spot. It's not that hard to try and escape from the jungler. And in comparison, Gordon just went topsider. It's going to collect the Crux and potentially maybe look for a gank or even maybe a dive. And the bot lane is not in a bad spot, like even warding now.
Oh,
Yeah.
indeed. Crayons, though, wasn't a bad spot. But like you were saying, that wave crashing in did give the opportunity for Cooper to actually kind of get into that back line to go for one of those long con ganks. But I snort Crayons, those Crayons that he's been sniffing, they gave him a 6th sense because he drops that ward just in time and is able to see the gank coming. I will say, I got to pick your brain on this. I noticed that Crayons is actually running overheal with Caitlyn. Is that really the move to make? Or because normally I would probably run like Triumph or something like that. I don't know. What do you think?
Overheal pretty much maybe is to try and keep himself as healthy as possible without the help of other champions. So
Mm.
kind of utilizing the huge amount of healing that he has so that he doesn't have to depend on the karma or on other champions to survive. Maybe that's kind of the deal. I can see why Triumph would work out, but I feel like for Caitlyn particularly, both of them kind of make sense in the
Mm.
overall context of how you want to play the Caitlyn.
Yeah, okay. Just want to know next time one of my teammates tells me I'm trolling because I'm not taking triumph, I'm gonna be like, TDS told me it's fine. You can't say nothing now. But
I
that,
feel
oh
like I
my.
feel like
Hmm?
having my mark of approval is not the best of things, but hey, I'll take it.
Oh my god, that built over Peacemaker though, doing a lot of damage to both Travis and Bully. They're still kind of stuck under this turret, and it doesn't look like any help is coming anytime soon. So they're gonna have to take the abuse a little longer. The bullying ain't gonna stop just yet. They're gonna keep getting shoved into the lockers
Oh,
because okay, Flash did come out. Not a lot gonna happen from it though. Cooper once again is getting spotted out by Ward. Bro, at this point, if he's not screaming remove wards from the game, I don't know what's gonna make him do that. That's like the third time he's been spotted out by a ward.
yeah, and thanks to that, now the Dragon is completely in possession of the side of Fever. Like, they have been running this early game in such a well thought out
There's
manner.
another one.
Yeah, like they are keeping track of this Jarvan so well. I cannot give enough props of how good this early game has been for Fever. Like, even if the Jarvan gets the red buff stolen from the Xinjiao, I still feel like it's been so well done by them.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta say, as a jungle main, I definitely feel his pain. There really is no worse fear than you pull up to the lane. You just see them slowly back off. And like, okay, we'll get them next time. You go to the next lane, they slowly back off, and you just gotta be like, what's my purpose here? What am I gonna do? Like,
And as Jarvan, you have to feel a little bit worse because you kind of really depend on those early ganks and those kind
mhm.
of timings working out, right? Like, if you don't get the value out of those early ganks, you're pretty much just going to become a Cataclysm bot later on.
Yeah, it's just a one
Kind of do
ability
already,
show.
right?
Yeah, do be like that. Now, Crayons is okay. A little bit of pushback coming though from the side of Collective Calamity. A lot of damage already coming out from Alor, though. He's looking to poke that death rate, just barely touching him. It's gonna do a bit of damage. And overall, this is definitely a lot slower than we had the pleasure of casting last week. Though I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of nice. Could just chill for a little bit. My voice can rest still. I don't gotta get all crazy hyped up. Who knows? I mean, it's 8:30 p.m. You know, this not. It's like they say, you shouldn't drink caffeine. You know, like a good 6 hours before bed. I'm not trying to
Well,
get the adrenaline pumping, but we'll have to see.
yeah, I've heard about that, but I'm Colombian, so I drink quite a lot of coffee. So
Oh,
I'm not quite on that train. Just saying.
I feel that. I feel that. Okay, I'm about to just start. If they got like a voice chat or something, they got a Discord call. I'm gonna just go into like, listen, guys, we need some action. Like,
We need
get
a
something
kill
going.
right now.
Come on, yeah, for real. It's been 8 minutes. I need a kill, please, bro. Give me
Hey, we're
something to work with.
turning pro. This
Yeah.
is the actual pro level of gameplay. We're waiting till 10 minutes for a first blood.
Yeah, at this point, we could literally just tell like Twitch chat, hey, these are actually all challenger players. They'd believe it at this point because nothing is going down. Like honestly,
Yeah, it's been one of the like legitimately, it's probably one of the calmest games I think I've ever casted.
okay, but
And
it's looking like
oh,
hold up, I'm gonna have to stop you there because Stubby
Stubby.
heard us, and now he's looking to make something happen. Flashes over him, but just get hit by the flask. It's gonna push him back, so his boy is gonna come up to try and assist the Cooper, taking a lot of damage from that Darkin Blade. Is gonna need to flash to get out of that one. Close call. We cut to ball and nothing really going down, just some more farming. Directed cam has kind of failed me.
I
And
don't know
so
why directed cam always sends us towards bot lane, even when nothing is going to happen. Like 100%, we go to bot lane.
yeah. Oh, Caitlyn getting a shot off on that turret. Oh my god. Like,
That
what am I supposed to
was
say
amazing.
about that? Like, straight up.
Yeah.
That being said, though, the Rift Herald is going to go into the hands of Gordon once again. They just have so much control of the map and looking to have control of the kill feed here as well. It's going to connect.
Damage.
Yeah, a lot of
Nice.
damage, but once again, nothing quite going to follow out of that when I was going to say when connects to lightning. I don't know why. My brain is just not in like peak performance tonight. But yeah, nothing quite going to come out of it.
lightning, so it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Frostbite it's going to connect onto Fire, but nothing really going to come out of it. I feel like that's just kind of becoming the motto of tonight. Nothing coming out of it. It's just like we see these trades, this damage coming out, but at the end of the day, it's just no kills.
Yeah, it was cute, but nothing really happened from that. So it's been fun watching them trading and hinting towards potentially doing something, and then in reality, it's actually nothing. And we just keep on talking about the potential that we may see, but nothing really happens at the end.
Yeah, I feel that. I gotta say, a lot of love in the Twitch chat for Stubby and Gordon. So I'm trying to see them do something so we can hype them up, give the chat what they want, but they're not doing nothing. Come on, boys, we gotta see
Eh,
something happen here. Let's get to it.
Yeah, at this point, if Gordon doesn't get first blood or Stubby doesn't get first blood, like I think that all fans should be disappointed.
Yeah, for real. Like something has got to happen. And there's so many wards, dude. It's just like this is a fever dream at this point. I mean, honestly, Cooper's just gonna go to bed tonight, and he's just like in his dreams, it's gonna be him clearing wards everywhere. That's all it's gonna be. It's just an absolute nightmare.
I feel like if that's going to be his nightmare, at least is his nightmare playing competitive and not solo queue. I feel like in solo queue that would be way worse.
That's true. That's really true. At least here he can kind of tell all his teammates, "Hey, y'all need to start sweeping for wards without being called some mean names in the chat or just getting reported for being toxic or something like
Yeah,
that." So
at
that's always
least you
nice.
can argue. At least you can what is called. You can say to your teammates and they can get you. But
Yeah,
when you're doing it in
exactly.
solo queue, you're all
Good luck,
alone.
bro.
You're sad. You have to face so many words. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably awful.
you're lucky at that point if like your teammates even speak the same language as you. Like you're gonna get like some Russian in there. You're gonna get some kind of European language. It's like, bro, I'm blessed that I can speak German. I can understand it sometimes when someone calls me like a dog. But bro, if they hit me with that
Oh,
Russian hold
oh,
up, they're gonna hit. I hit crayons with so much damage. So Allure hitting that
okay,
Valkyrie.
he's dead.
True shot barrage comes out. Boom, baby. There's that first blood we were talking about. 11 minutes in, Cataclysm comes down, and it's a double kill for the side of Collective Calamity. Finally, it took a while. It was a slow build-up, but they hit us with the double kill. Rift Herald gonna crash and gonna get a couple of plates. Bit of action coming out from the side of Fever, but that's really all we're gonna get. And now they're also looking to pick up this dragon.
Maybe another kill.
Oh, it might just be, yeah, it might even be more. Bully's looking to bully Gordon, but nothing quite gonna come out of that. Are gonna grab the dragon though. We're just probably trying to, apply some pressure, make sure that no one can pull up. So they are gonna get that. Gonna be equal in dragon, not equal in kills though. However, Collective Calamity, that was very nice to see. Maybe Stubby's gonna try and find something here. A lot of damage coming out from the Darkened Blade. Eternal Chains are coming down as well, gonna pull him in, but he's just a bit too close to that turret, and he probably knows Brack is just a bit too tanky. But he was waiting for his boy Gordon. Let's see Gordon coming into play. The world ender has been popped, and it's looking like First ET's world is about to be ended. The Flash, very nicely done. Stubby picking up his first kill.
So it took us 12:30, but at least we get 3 kills going already in the game. And just to try and round it down from the start, first of all, I want to commend once again the side of Collective Calamity, because one thing we were laughing quite a bit was the word vision to keep tabs of CB Cooper. But they did a really nice job to keep this bottom side completely warded. Like, one word just went down, but there's so much blue vision that they could pull off that package play with the Corki so effectively without really risking anything from happening badly to them. And that ends up netting 2 kills, one for the Ezreal, one for the Jarvan. I would have liked one going to the Corki, but they pull the trigger really effectively and get the kill. And then looking at top side, I really like that dive from Gordon and Stubby. I would have liked that to come through a little bit earlier, because I feel like they could have done that way before, but still they are able to pull it up. They give the kill to the Aatrox, which I think it's so important, and they keep themselves in an advantage at this point in the game. They still need a little bit more of a lead, in my opinion, at least 1,000 gold more, because the Caitlyn is going to hit that power drop in the mid game that is quite evident, that almost everyone knows, and you need that extra gold to try and play around that without getting completely affected by it.
Absolutely, like you were saying, right? That gold lead is still a little bit minuscule at the moment, even though it is 2-1. Fever does still have about a 3k goal with lead, since they were able to crash that Rift Herald, and they got that first dragon, and they've been getting a lot of platings, especially in this bot lane. I mean, we see that Fever's turret in that bot lane is still 5 out of 5 plays. That's a lot of unclaimed gold, while the side of Collective Calamity is already down to 1 plate, and it's just dwindling down. They got the whole squad up in the top lane. What's going on? They want revenge for their boy? They were like, you send our jungler up, we're sending our whole team up there. Stubby did bide his time, though, waited for everyone to dip, and now he's looking maybe to come in. Nah.
Allure has to run away.
Yeah, the Lord does have to go in. Yeah, there goes that turret. First turret does go down under 15 minutes. So what they're lacking in kills, they are making up in objectives here. Are going to get that turret. And once again, like you said, that's a lot more gold going into Caitlyn's hand. We see already at 140 farm, doing some great CS numbers. You do like to see it. It's just, hopefully it just goes up from here.
Yeah, the only thing is that the Ezreal is in a really nice spot, because he's just 3,300 gold behind the Caitlyn. Yeah, not 3,000. 300 gold behind the Caitlyn. So doing a nice job keeping up and trying to become the monster that Ezreal is. And if we had the fancy graphics that the LCS has or something like that, we could have seen the what is called the plates that each team has, and it's actually
Mm.
so much plate money going into the pockets of Fever, and I think that no plate went into the hands of Collective Calamity. I think each turret is completely full health.
Yeah, no, I think straight up it is. And I mean, it also the gold graphs really would they tell no lies, right? It's literally the side of Fever hasn't gotten a single kill except for that solo kill they got, and they're already at like a 4K gold lead. Like that's actually crazy. And I gotta say,
Yeah.
when it comes to Stubby, right? Honestly, I feel like he's just being a little modest, but we might have to hold that
Oh,
thought because the flash catalyst coming down, a lot of damage, fire streak in a bad spot, getting stunned, and he is gone. Nothing he could do. Got hit by the Jarvan ult, got hit by the Braum ult. I was gonna say Bard, dude. Oh my god. The the Braum ult is just stuck in the little hellhole that is the Cataclysm. Nowhere to go. Gets taken down. What I was gonna say about Stubby though, before I was so rudely interrupted by Bully,
by a
living up
kill.
to his name. Yeah, but exactly what we're trying to see is that I feel like Stubby's being a little modest, man. We saw some of that damage that was coming out from him. I really feel like he could be playing a little more aggressive and going for those kills, but I feel like he's really just biding his time, waiting to kind of like pop off and be like, yeah, I'm crazy like that. And then we just see him get like a bunch of kills at once.
That could be the case. Like one thing with Aatrox that I always evaluate with him, kind of the same way. Oh, yeah, kind of
Yeah,
the
they're,
same way that I think about with the Renaction is that
hmm,
you cannot commit a lot of mistakes because if you get put behind, you're kind of doomed. But at the
yeah.
same time, you have to force things to happen because if not, you're not going to get that much value in comparison to other champions. So it's kind of the dichotomy of the champion, but some things that you have to make happen. So like you're saying, I feel like Sobi maybe is looking towards that highlight play that can make him be farther ahead, but that probably is not going to be the most ideal if he takes way too long to make it happen. He does have teleport here, so maybe if fight breaks down, he can maybe force it, but
Well,
he's
True
a
Shot
free
Brush
dragon.
comes out, but not going to steal anything. Frostbite as well, not going to do much. That top tower, we only caught a glimpse of it, but it has like literally probably like 5 health. That's so sad to see. Oh man, Travis already doing a lot of damage with those Mystic shots, though. Does have that mana mute, not mana mute, Essence Reaver. So obviously it's going to be doing a lot of damage. And now we might just finally get a team fight here for this Rift Herald. Gordon did have to face check that Bush. Going to take a little bit of
Quite
damage.
ballsy.
Needs to be careful here. Doesn't want to get poked out too much. First Ed is going to dash over that wall, get himself out of a bad spot. Is going to recall. I don't know if that's the move, but he doesn't have a lot of mana to work with. So
Yeah.
if they do end up having to fight, won't be able to do much other than just kind of run at him and slap him with the keg. And I don't know if that's the move, and they might be looking to go in here. Bully. Get what? He just pushes him away. He's like, your ult means nothing with a crescent guard. Very nicely done. Another Darkened Blade shredding through him, doing a lot of damage. Cooper ace in the hole. Mr. President, get down.
Wait,
It's
what?
gonna get blocked by Cooper, though. What? They're gonna turn this thing
Oh,
around. Valkyrie through the
no.
masses. A Lord doing so much damage. True Shot Barrage is barely gonna miss. Gravity Field goes down, but it's not enough. Just like that, Gordon does get one kill, but he's about to get hunted down. A lot of healing coming out. Nope, never. Wow, he just got stuffed into that keg like it was nothing. And just like that, Collective Calamity collectively kill the entire side of Fever like it was nothing. Very nicely done.
Yeah, they forced the fight really well, or really exemplified what I liked about their composition. The disengage into re-engage potential. They run away from the Xin Zhao, forced the Stubby into such an awful spot, and even though Cooper was so low, like he survived for so long thanks to the help and the collective power of his teammates that just kept him alive for so long. Then
Yeah.
when they killed Stubby, it was an easy re-engage into the fight and were able to run down the remaining members. And this is what I was... Oh,
Cooper doesn't even care.
look
dude.
about a gutsy move, just putting the Herald down in front of the Karma. Who cares?
Oh my god, he just drops it down. I will say though, what I find quite funny is that despite them almost acing the entirety of Fever, Fever is still 1k gold ahead. Like, it should tell you
But
something.
I just looking at top lane, like it's 69 CS in favor of Stubby. So, a credit to him. Like he has been doing a really nice job. The problem is that this is what I was worrying about with the Aatrox. We were thinking if he was going to go to try and make the highlight play happen, and it looked like it was going to happen, then it didn't. And this is the point where Aatrox, even though he can put power into split pushing, like if he just gets collapsed, he gets immediately killed, and they have enough damage and enough disengage, just keep the Aatrox controlled and not achieve anything.
Yeah, finally, the award. Thank you for taking down that top turret. It had, I checked a while ago, it had 10 HP to its name, dude. Like, oh my god.
Just enough.
Yeah, literally, you could just sneeze on it and it would have died. They are going to clear some more vision. And we do see actually the Hex Drinker being brought out here by the Aatrox, realizing just how much damage comes out from that Gragas, from Allure, from Bully as well. So, I mean, no surprise they're picking up the Merc Treads as well because there's just so much CC
It
on
also
the
gives you a
side.
lot of lifesteal now, thanks to the newer or at least improved version of the Hex Drinker. So I kind of like the idea. I like it much more than just going into the Sterak's directly, especially with the changes to Sterak. So I
Yeah.
feel like this could be work out a little bit better for you.
Yeah, definitely need a little bit of that extra gold so that you can get mob memories and get that passive, that extra. I think it's like 15% vamp now, if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty big. That's kind of crazy, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
That makes it so much more worth it. But like you said, with that, Sterak's has been maybe not nerfed, but changed. I don't know how I like it, to be honest. But now you kind of really want to wait to get your base HP up before you do end up building it. So we're gonna have to see what he ends up going for. And now we're back to that kind of like somewhat more just chill time. You know, that's what I'm gonna deem it, chill time. That's what I'm gonna call it from now on. I think it's just really that
Forget LOL state. It's Shelton now.
it's chill time, baby. Fever just realizing that damn, like they do a lot of damage, but if they misplay these fights, then things will definitely go south quite quickly, as we saw in that team
Yep.
fight. Maybe they're trying to get a pick here on first ET. We do see that Gordon is kind of like hovering around, but does need to be careful because the entirety of CC is on patrol right now in this bot river. So many wards, dude. Like, you love to see this, honestly. You do not see this in like silver to gold leagues normally. Like, this is actually really refreshing.
Yeah, it's a really nice job of keeping vision control. Oh, Allure.
Oh lord, though, you can have all the
Oh,
vision in the world. Oh, a very nice flash. Ace in the hole, get down, but he is gonna be blocked by Bully. Bully gonna work out the ult here, and now Gordon in such a bad spot. Gravity field gets dropped, so he is gonna be stunned. Chaos Storm coming out from the Victor. Meanwhile, in that bottom side, first ET, Dark and Blaine doing a lot of damage, but he just flashes right into the masses. Stubby does not care, but he doesn't heal enough. Gonna go down. That flash knocking back the entirety of the side of Fever, so they're not able to help. Dragon is down now, and it is gonna be a 4-on-5. So I don't know if Fever can really hold here. The side of CC is pretty low. TP is going to come out, though, from Allure. Did kill back to regen some health, and now they're looking to go, and Gordon just gets exploded, taken out. Goodbye. Torn to bits by the rocket coming up from Allure. That should be a free dragon in the hands of CC.
yeah, and with these fights, with the way that these fights are going, we need to keep our eyes open for the ultimate cooldowns. Because when the ultimates are down for the side of Fever, it's just so easy to be able to win these fights. Like, even with the Stubby's ultimate being up, like we talked about, the control is so high that if he tries to go for the highlight play, and he looked like he could probably pull it off, but he gets controlled, he gets stopped, he gets killed, you lose the fight. That's kind of the sequence of events that happen for Fever. So it's becoming harder and harder for Fever. And even though the gold lead is still in favor of Fever, like the composition from Collective Calamity is becoming stronger and stronger by the minute. The Cesrol is hitting the crown soon. The Corki is getting his third item. Then you see the Gragas becoming much tankier. So the value of these champions are spiking quite a lot. And I'm actually going to point out something important from the Karma. I don't like the Moonstone. I feel like you needed to have the Shurelias in this game to buff up your Xinjiao and your Aatrox.
Okay, I feel that. I gotta say, I do feel like the acronym for Collective Calamity is a bit of a double entendre there, because I mean, CC.
CC,
I'm starting to see something there, because there was a lot of C's coming out, and we saw that was exactly what shut Stelby down. Stelby came in like he was big man on campus, right? He pops the World Ender. We saw him flash into it. I don't know if maybe he was just trying to flash to get in front of first ET, but I mean, hey. Regardless, he flashes into the middle, realizes I'm in a bad spot, drops the Darkened Blade, thinking he's gonna heal up. Nothing comes out of it. It just gets CC'd. Probably CC timer was at like the fight went 5 seconds, was CC'd for 4 seconds. And speaking of CC, a very nicely timed flash by a ward, just barely gonna get him out of the Cataclysm. That was a close call.
Yeah, but now I feel like, oh,
Ooh, calm down. I don't know about that. Oh, I mean, I appreciate the try. Okay, a lot of damage does come out onto Bully after Bully does protect Travis, almost having to protect him with his life, but just barely gonna get out of that one.
yeah, the Ezreal taking quite a bit of damage. Walking into a trap, I feel like it's not the kind of thing that you want to do against a Caitlyn ever. But maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just me wanting to be safe. But luckily, no one dies, right? Like, it's still a 9-2 advantage going into the favor of Collective Calamity. And I think that we're going back into chill time, because I think that the next rig, it's probably the one that we're going to see a fight on.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, 2 minutes. It's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a long chill time. At this point, I might just have to pop out the popcorn, bro. You want to watch like a show on Netflix? You got something you want to look at, like straight up, because it might be a minute. But hold up, Cooper said, nah, 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 no chill time just yet. No rest time for you. Does flag and drag, but nothing quite gonna come out of it. And now I'm just disappointed. My hopes were
With
up
no
high.
Cataclysm, I think that you probably cannot pull that kind of play.
Yeah, intimidating. I'll give him that.
A
But
for an attempt.
yeah,
That's important.
first attempt. Exactly. Attempt was made. Allure, meanwhile, just going to be this guardian up in the top lane, just holding the wave. Now that they don't have that tier 1 turret, they do not want any pressure on any of these lanes. They want to kind of, I would say, push the advantage, but they're still down in gold. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's impressive how even though they are so far ahead in terms of kills, they are so far behind in terms of gold. But it's because of the amount of control of objectives that Stubby has been able to collect, the plates that they were able to get in the early game, and also the CS advantage. Like each lane, like every lane, legitimately apart from Braum, but we don't count supports, every lane is essentially ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just looking at those farm numbers as well. Oh, okay, there's that Cataclysm. Finally has it. So Crayons will use that 90 caliber net to dodge out. Gale Force to dodge the Frostbite. It's just barely going to get out of that one. Getting out of harm's way. And there's just not enough follow-up from the side of CC. Unfortunately, not enough CC coming out. But that mid turret, it's like a similar story to that top turret, man. It's still standing. Someone please take it down. As an Echo main, this is when I would honestly just go to like the Raptors right there, right? Just E over that wall and just take that thing out. That is honestly so triggering right now. I'm not even going to lie.
The kind of play that you go where you're willing to throw the game just to get the turret.
You make a statement, man. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message, bro.
And the message is, you can win the game. Is that the message that we want to give away?
Listen, man, you can interpret it how you want. That being said, though, I realize that both teams are interpreting the timer for the dragon and realizing, oh, it's up in 30 seconds. So that means we've got about 30 seconds before we maybe see a little bit of a scuffle going down. We do have the side of Fever. They realize they need to make a pick happen. If there we go. Finally, that mid turret goes down. Thank God. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, I can rest easy and focus on what's about to go down because we've got exactly 12 more seconds before this drag comes up. Honestly, I feel like Fever need to get a pick before they start this dragon because I do not believe they win a full 5-on-5.
Yeah, 5v5 is so difficult for them to fight, especially because one thing that we pointed out in draft was the lack of a clear-cut front line. Like, even if Aatrox is quite strong with his ultimate, like, he's not tanky enough. I think that he has just about 2,000 health. Yeah, 2,050 health, essentially. So he's not essentially the healthiest of targets, and he can get destroyed really easily. Like you're pointing out, they need to find a pick, but it's so hard. The control from CC is so good around this dragon.
They cannot push up to contest, and unfortunately, Gordon looking for that pick only finds first ET, who is incredibly tanky, and so no damage gets done to him, and that is going to be the third dragon into the hands of CC. They're just gonna go for Baron, dude. They just straight up put everything on. They put their foot on the table, dude. They're like, dude, come on, come fight us. Let's see what you got. And I don't even know. I don't know if Fever can do anything here. The TP is gonna come out from Stubby. Maybe they're gonna try and make something happen here. Baron doing quite a bit of damage, doing what Fever cannot. And so it did get them quite low. Ooh, True Shot Barrage doing a lot of damage to Fire Streaks. Needs to be careful there. But once again, nothing really going to come out of it. Collective Calamity realizing, you know what? Let's not push our luck here. We got what we originally came for. Bring it back to base. Buy some more items. Next time we wipe Fever off the board, that's when we go for Baron.
Yeah, the thing is that they don't need to push the issue. This is the one of the greatest values out of this composition is that they can just keep on poking, keep on getting items, keep on getting objectives. Like their range is so good, they can force the issue, but also stop the issue from happening or from being an issue. Redundancy, but it can work out really well for them. In comparison, the side of Fever,
need to be careful. Oh, a very nice sidestep, but that you cannot sidestep the Cataclysm. Gonna crash down on some stun. Award is tanking so much. What, dude? What? He survived that? That's actually insane. Crayon's doing so much damage to cover his boy. He's like, get down, I got you. Pumping bullets into Cooper. Takes him down. That is one pick off the board. And the jungler as well. And now Fever's like, yo, let's give this Baron a try here.
Award is really low though. So he needs to be careful.
Oh, that might have his ward. And now he's at 0 HP. Oh, get down, Mr. President. No one to cover him though. And there goes Allure. Oh my god, are they gonna turn this thing around?
Yeah.
Fever, though, trying to get Bully here. Bully incredibly tanking. First ET can't do anything. He's gotta leave his boy to die, most likely. Gonna pop the shield, but it does nothing for him. That should be Baron for Fever. They might still be in this thing.
Yeah, and that fight all started with pushing the issue, but much more so than just forcing the play from Cooper, because I think that the idea from the play is not necessarily bad, it's how the play happened. I liked how they committed on the victory, I like how they forced some things, but Ezreal could never get in a spot where he could throw down damage, and when you lose essentially all your damage because the Jarvan and the Braum won't be doing damage, you cannot get the kill on the victor. That just translates into Cooper dying, and then the Baron buff attempt beginning immediately. If they could have maybe played around the Corki a little bit better, or actually used the first CT teleport because it was on cooldown and he didn't use it, maybe they could have stopped the Baron in a much more effective manner, but because everyone kind of went their own ways, it was easier for the side of Fever to force the fight, to stop anything bad from happening, and to get the kills that they needed to just commit to the Baron and get the advantage. Overall, I think that a couple of mistakes really badly executed by CC, but Fever taking advantage of them, finally putting the pedal to the metal and getting the advantages that they needed, putting now the game much more into their favor.
Yeah, now with a almost impressive 5k gold lead, unless my math is wrong. I do believe that is a 5k gold lead pretty much coming out from the side of Fever. That's really what's keeping them in this game. They do have a lot of the items that they need, and with the empowered variant buff, that should allow them to seed some of these turrets. We do have Stubby in that top lane trying to push down that top turret, but Allure and first ET are like, no, good sir, that's not happening. Different story in that mid lane, though. The minions have pushed up. That cannon minion going to be doing just consistent damage onto this turret, and it's looking like tier 2 in the mid lane is going to fall. Nothing that they can do there, unfortunately. With Ice Snore Crayons and the cannon minion there, it's just too much range for them to handle.
Yeah, and there's not quite good enough wave clear from the side of Collective Calamity. Try and stop these kind of pushes, so it's going to be quite hard for them to defend. Like, they can try and put damage down and stop some of the things, but if they commit way too many people, it's going to be hard for them to stop these pushes. Dragon coming up in 45 seconds, by the way.
Ah, exactly, and so that's soul point for CC at the moment. I do not know if the Baron buff is, and it's still going to most likely last for the Dragon, so they are going to still have those empowered stats, which might just be the edge that Fever needs if they want to complete, well, I mean, I wouldn't even say come back into this game, but just to kind of secure themselves in this game, because at the moment, things are still kind of on a knife's edge right now, and they're looking to get this first pick on Stubby, perhaps. Okay, you have some vision there, so Stubby will know that someone's coming to try and hunt them down. A flash ultimate, very nicely done by first ET, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. The World Ender was popped. Stubby running for the safety of his turret, and he's just barely going to make it. That is the ultimate out from Stubby, going to taunt him a little
Dragon
bit.
as well.
Yeah, that's true. That should be a free Dragon now for the side of Fever. He was able to just waste so much time, and so Fever will buy themselves another 5 minutes here. Chucha Barrage is coming in just a bit too late. It hits Fire Streak, but that's not the person you were trying to hit. Dragon's long gone, and so like I said, 5 more minutes now on the clock, and this is going to be soul for whoever grabs this next Dragon.
Yeah, and I honestly like the idea of the play from the side of Collective Calamity, collapsing on the Aatrox and trying to not only stop any potential from the Aatrox to collect something in the side lane, but also utilize your double teleport advantage to maybe force the play down there. But because they are not able to get the kill, the Dragon just is easily collected by Fever, and now they put themselves in Soul Point as well. And this is going to be actually interesting, because that means that the next Dragon, it's potentially going to be maybe the last fight, since whoever can get the Dragon and maybe win the fight will be able to push down into the Nexus. There's going to be a long time, a long what is called death timers.
Long death timer, long cooldown.
Game.
Okay. So you're calling maybe we might just see the end of the match here in 4 minutes. We're gonna have to see if that does come to fruition. You never know. Yeah, well, exactly. 4, my bad. And so, okay, I will say though, Stubby definitely looking to be a lot more kind of tanky. He does have that death stance. He's got the Mob Mortius, so now he's really going to be a force to reckon with. That was nice to see, though. He really kind of wasted a lot of time. Hit him with the BM, made first ET, pop the flash. He's going to try to do it again here, but I don't know if he's getting out of this one alive. X-Drinker drops, but that's not the right shield. You need AD shield, my guy. Is going to go down. That's one pick off the board. Unfortunately, Dragon is not going to just be up just yet, so he'll still be up in time for that. However, that does put a bit of fear in the hearts and minds of Fever.
Yeah, they like Stubby dies incredibly quickly, so
Yeah.
he needs to be careful about how he walks around the place. And that looked quite. It looked easier than it looked at the first time we saw the collapse onto Stubby. But they are able to slow the pace from the Aatrox pushing the wave. Maybe now finally the first ED can get the turret in the top lane. That maybe now he finally can.
Yeah, finally they'll actually get okay. Well, they did get that mid tier one, but I was gonna say finally get their first turret, but it will be their second. But in comparison to Fever, it does feel like it's their first one, and now they're maybe looking to a little engage here. God, fully popping the ultimate. I don't really know if that was the move, but I guess it was just to scare him off. A ward though, coming out with a lot of damage. Crayon's gonna pop the ultimate, but it will be blocked by Bully. Gonna have to wait for that one to come back up. There we go. It's shattered crown. Oh my god. I can't even. I can't speak. I can't say the name of that item. I don't like that item, and I can't pronounce it either. That's a good combo.
The Shattered Queen Crown. That
The Queen Shattered Crown of. There we go.
exactly. Close
Oh
enough
my
that could
god.
be.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
now
But
Footspring for Baron.
yeah, that's true. That's
We
true.
maybe seeing a fight before what I called out.
Yeah, no, Baron, especially with that Baron, but that would definitely secure you kind of being able to push into the base with that the
Yeah,
empowered minions coming from that. So it is going to be interesting to see. Award maybe wants to back now before the fight starts. Is still
he still has
pretty
teleport.
low. Yeah, that's true. Does still have teleport. Is actually incredibly high level. Already has hit level 18, which is nice to see. And with that Shadow Flame, once yeah, Ezreal's shield is back up, so he's gonna be doing a lot of damage to him in particular once he pops the crown with Shadow Flame's passive, being that you do the max amount of magic pen when you hit someone that has an active shield. So Travis definitely going to need to be careful about that one. But with that, Baron is up. And at the moment, CC does have control of this river. Going to go ahead and clear the vision. Gordon does have the GA, so if he does go down, he will be given that second chance, and maybe that's exactly what he'll need if they want to come out victorious this time around. Once again, you probably would want to get a pick here, but this time around, neither side is going to put themselves in that exposed position. Honestly, it's looking like either side is just going to kind of wait to see if the other side is going to start it.
Who's going to fall prey for their own mistakes, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of that game of chicken where you go ahead, no, you go ahead, no, please, you go ahead. Like that kind of deal where whoever forces first kind of screws themselves. But I feel like for the side of Fever, this is actually good. Like we're seeing them rushing Baron and like this, but being first to place means that they can set up traps, they can set up control, and they can just get control. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, they're going to grab it. In fact, that True Shot Barrage kind of helped them rush it, I feel like, almost. And now they're looking to do a bit of a fight, though, here. Okay, Corki going in, though, but it's North Crayons. It's going to get that first kill on first DT. Allure going to go down as well, which is a bit far in that back line. Will go down. The Darkened Blade doing so much damage. And now Travis, get down. He does get hit by the ultimate ace in the hole. Stubby going to take him out, and now it's all up to Cooper. He's healing a lot, but so does Gordon. And Gordon does still have that GA, and goodbye, good night. That's the ace. They've got the Baron. They're looking to push it to the base. The death timers are on 40 seconds. You see the pings coming out. Well, you don't, but we do. We see the pings coming out already. They're all looking to rush this base, looking to move in here to this tier 3 turret. Going to do a lot of damage. Should be able to shred it incredibly quickly. Going to take it down. Going to go ahead and get this inhibitor as well. Get that farm up as well. Get those minions. Getting that inhibitor, looking to move to the Nexus turrets. Bully is up in 10, and ET will be up in 14, but is it going to be enough? I don't think so. The Nexus is exposed, and ladies and gentlemen, Fever were behind in the early game, but they brought it back, and they get the win.
Kind of behind, because in reality, they never were behind in gold, right? Like, they always had a gold advantage. It was just the feeling or the state of the game was much more in favor of the side of Collective Calamity. But those two last fights or three last fights where they get control over the objectives and were able to win were really nicely done. I really, really like particularly the last one because they baited out bad resets out of the side of Collective Calamity, making themselves be first to the objective, and with the amount of damage that they had, they could rush it down. And I think you pointed this out in the mid, but yeah, in the continuation of the game, during the game, you pointed out how they had a lot of damage, but couldn't really get that damage down. But when you're first to the objective, you get control, you have position, you can get your damage down on the objective, you kill it quickly, and the setup is much easier to execute. We see the amount of damage that the Ezreal and the Corki did in the whole game, but when you're late to the fight, it doesn't matter how much damage you can do as the Corki or the Ezreal, because the objective is already down. Fever obtained what they wanted to do, and they were just able to turn around effectively after that. Also, kind of collective Calamity forcing the issue a little bit too much, in my opinion. But I feel like it was just the desperation that you kind of get to where you lose something and you feel like you need to get something back from that.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the goal difference over time. That's actually insane to see. Never a single point where CC was ahead
Yeah.
in gold. They may have had more CC, but Fever had a lot more gold, and I might just have to get my temperature checked out after that one because that was a very nice play coming out for Fever. But it's like you said, right? If you're too late into the fight, it doesn't matter how much damage you do because we saw, especially in that last fight, right? We had Corky did pull up, right? He uses Valkyrie with the package as well. It gets pretty deep into the back line. But at that point, one of your main tanks is already down first. ET was the first to fall, and then he was just quick to be cut up because so much
Yeah.
damage was coming out from Fever, and he was like the only man in the back line. It's like you can't do everything on your own. Gets cut down, and then the rest of his team falls very quickly, and then their base is just gone after that.
Yeah, the problem with Corki that I saw quite a bit from, or not quite a bit from this game, but in that last fight was you really cannot go bonkers on the package like that. Like
Hmm.
the only way that that works out is if you don't really get focused at any point because something else is distracting enough that you really get a free pass on how you use the package. And funnily enough, Corki almost actually solo killed the Caitlyn. If not for a misexecution from
Yeah.
Corki, he probably kills the Caitlyn, and maybe the fight looks a little bit different because now you're worried that your Caitlyn is dead. You're kind of forced to go into the Corki, but then the Aatrox gets left behind and he gets killed or something like that. But that is small difference could have actually saved the game. But going back into the point of the package, it's kind of hard to actually execute with a package when everyone knows that that's the only play that you can pull off. You just get controlled, killed, and when the exhaust comes down, you're an easier target to get down. So well, the Corki just kind of not really achieved what you like to see from a Corki, especially in these kind of compositions where you're much more your poke than just your engage potential compared to other champions.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be losing points tonight with 1.5K points being put on
Ooh.
Collective Calamity and only 450 on the side of Fever. So that's going to be a very nice payday for the believers in the chat for Fever. They're definitely celebrating after this one, but it's not all over yet because this is a best of three. So Fever does still need to win one more game. It's not just a one game fluke. So we'll throw it to a quick break. And then when we are back, we'll get right into the draft for game two. I tell you don't go any, but come on, you know you're gonna want to see the second game. All right, welcome back, everyone. Recess is over. We're getting back into this thing. Game two is about, well, I should say the draft for game two is about
Yeah.
to get started. Now, Collective Calamity, they did take a L there on that first game. So we're going to have to see if they have what it takes to take game two. But right now, it's looking to me like Collective Calamity might just be taking the L tonight. I don't know, TDS. What do you think?
Yeah, it might turn into a calamity. Not good for them. So hopefully they are able to turn it around. I cannot stress enough how I really liked their draft in the first game. Like the problem kind of iffy from me, but at the same time I can kind of see the value. But overall, the way that their draft worked out, I actually like it a lot, much more than Favor. So I feel like if they can draft something like the previous game, but make better use of it, like I can see Collective Calamity being able to win. But on the other side for Fever, like they made so much good use out of their lane dominance. The Aatrox winning lane, the Victor winning lane, the Caitlyn Karma winning lane. Like we had that CS difference at I think 20 minutes where every lane was winning, and that was what made the goal difference much more favorable for the side of collective for Fever. I mean, so
Yeah.
if they can keep something similar, I can see them just running with the game again.
Yeah, no, I feel that because I mean, honestly, it wasn't like it was some kind of like one-sided stomp, right? Especially like
Yeah,
towards kind of that mid game, we did see Collective Calamity were doing some like they were doing some damage, they were winning some of these team fights, and we even saw in that ending graph, right? Travis had some of the most, I think, the most damage out of anyone, even though he was on the team that ultimately lost. But like you said, Fever just did such an excellent job when it came to supplying themselves with plenty of vision, right? So that they can't, other than that one gank into the bot lane with the Corki package that they just did not see coming, but they were able
yeah,
to deter so many ganks coming out from the J4 because they just had very nice vision. And then, like you said, they used that lead that they were able to kind of establish in the early game to run away with and then ultimately win that game. But it's a new game. It's anybody's game at this point. So we're going to have to see what's going down here. Now, we are in the draft. So we already see okay, we got the Trundle and the Blitzcrank going out again from Fever, and this time they're also going to ban the Corki. Okay.
yeah. Same, almost same pick bans, but now banning the Corki and the Victor away. Jinx being open, I really like that they are going for the Jinx. I have said this previously, and I still stand by this. To me, Jinx is the best AD carry in the game. So if you can get your hands on her as soon as possible, get her because she's really really strong. But I wanted to point out something in the previous game that I really couldn't talk about in the previous draft: the lack of Suri attention. Like Suri has been popping up so much recently. She did receive a little nerf recently, I think, if I'm not wrong. So maybe the priority kind of fell down, but she has been so prominent recently that I'm surprised we didn't see anything coming with the series. So maybe this is the game. Maybe Collective Calamity pulls off the series and just what the pentakills like almost every player has been able to do.
Hmm.
But if not, it's the Diana being picked now, and I like the Diana for this game because it's one of the best ways to try and burst out carries. And against a Jinx that is not the most of mobile carries, the Diana can find a lot of value if she can get on top of her.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I just looked at the actual master sheet. I'm feeling a little lied to, man, because I just realized that it's only for matches that they're undefeated games. Both teams have 1 L, but now I feel a little lied to though. I don't know why they put matches first there. So that's besides the point though. But
Blame
like you're
Red.
saying, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna blame Red for that one. I
Yeah.
want change. I want change to be brought up. But back to listen, off topic, back to the match. Anyways, so we got Collective Calamity whipping out the Caitlyn and Diana. Okay. So Collective Calamity going, let me show you how to pilot Caitlyn correctly.
Well, they did win with the killing, so I'm not sure about that. Let me show you how to. More like,
Yeah,
let
yeah,
me try and be just like you.
try
I
and
feel
do
like
it.
I feel like that's kind of the idea. But I like the killing. Like again, I think one of the better champions to try and play against the Jinx because you can get the lane pressure, you can get the lane priority, and try and make the most out of just the sheer advantage that the killing has. The answer towards the killing is the Thresh and the Viego. I'm not against the Thresh particularly because you can get the use of the Lantern and make it so that it's harder to kill the Jinx. And this is something that is going to be so important against the Diana and the Shin now that the Shin is picked because the combo of Diana Shin just diving into your backline can be really dangerous.
Oh
But
yeah.
also the Flay. Like the Flay from the Thresh is going to play such a pivotal role in this game because if the Flay can come in at the perfect timing, you can deny the Diana, the Shin, and any other support or dive potential that CC may be drafted.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel that, and I think it's also going to be a pretty good combo with the Viego as well. Seeing as, especially with Viego, if you kind of get ahead a little bit in that early game, once you start, getting the snowball effect going, you can start doing some crazy dives, even under
Yeah.
turrets. Really, you hit the spectrum on, then you hit them with the heartbreaker. You do so much damage, then boop, you just got the thresh lantern there, pull it, get out of there, and you're good to go. But second round of bans, we do see the Aatrox ban will be coming out from Collective Calamity. So they're like, we don't want to deal with that one against Stubby. Go find something else to play.
Yeah, taking away some champions, we're going to see Stubby pulling off something new, but this bans means that Morgana is open, and Morgana, everyone knows her as probably one of the better champions against the Thresh, but in this game particularly, it's going to get so much value for the Caitlyn, and for the Diana as well. Like I talked about the Flay potential, but with the shield, you can put the shield on top of Diana, and now Diana has pretty much a free pass into trying to get towards your backline with the Shen shield on top as well. It just feels like it can work out marbles if Fever doesn't have a really good counter strat, and I don't think the counter strat is the Gragas in my opinion.
Oh yeah, and don't even forget the dark binding combined with the Caitlyn traps as well.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so much
Oh,
damage. You get hit with the dark binding, she just puts her E under you. You get hit with the Caitlyn trap, you are just gonna take so much damage. Greg is coming out from Fever, doesn't really surprise me there, honestly. I kind of feel I expected that one though. They're gonna now this time around they're gonna be like, let me show you how to use Gragas correctly here. Now that they take away
now
Stubby's
that works
Aatrox.
out, yeah.
Yeah, they finally I get to use my choke. Let's go.
Yeah.
And they are gonna last pick the
Rise,
rise,
huh?
perhaps, and they locked it in. Okay, there we go. They are gonna lock it
Yeah.
in. The rise with that last pick. Okay, coming in the mid lane here.
Well, as of line pick is not that bad. I feel like you get much more CC potential. You can maybe pop the black shield easier now with the rise, so I can see that value as well. Hopefully it's much more the AP version of Rise, not the tanky version of Rise, because in this game I feel like you already have enough tankiness with the Gragas and Thresh. You need to have that AP damage as well, and I hope they go for that AP route. But Gwen getting picked there, is it a mid lane Gwen? Or is it a more like could it be a Shen
a Shen support in mid Morgana?
support Morgana in the mid lane and Gwen in the top lane unless they are no, it's actually Gwen, so we know Gwen. A lot of people like playing Gwen. A lot of people like Gwen overall. Like Gwen is a really hype champion to watch and play if you're good enough. But I feel like with this composition, just kind of feels out of nowhere. Not to say that it cannot work out. It just feels like maybe there could have been a better option.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how Stubby ends up piloting that if it is the Gwen going into that top lane. Now I gotta say, or maybe mid as well. Who knows? We'll have to just
Yeah,
wait
it could be mid lane as well.
Yeah, we'll have to see for when they're kind of going through this pick phase now, so we'll know in just a moment. But just looking from these team comps, listen, man, a lot of people they lost a lot of points, man. So who do they need to bet this time around? Just looking at the comps, you gotta get these people their money back, bro.
Damn. If I had if it was me, I always like to bet for the Jinx.
Yeah.
Why? Because you win one fight with the Jinx, you essentially are putting yourself in the best spot to win the game.
Okay. So only
Like
1K
that's-
points on the line. Let me just no pressure, no pressure.
No pressure. Yeah, if it was me, I would always bet on the Jinx. But I just feel like the combo from Collective Calamity is so nice. Like Diana, Shen, Morgana, diving into your back lane. They can kill anything with that.
Okay, well, so far the
I
chat.
feel, yeah. So chat, throw a coin,
2K.
and whatever the coin does, you can do that. Like face, it's a Fever, tails, Collective Calamity. That's the best bet you can go for.
None of this is investing advice. So if you lose your money, it's on you. You got to add that disclaimer as well. But looking at okay, so it is.
Diana mid.
Oh, what? Oh my. Okay, so they really just hit us with the Uno reverse here. They putting Shen in top, Gwen in the jungle, and Diana in the mid lane. Okay.
Well, I'm okay with the Diana mid. I feel like Diana mid has lost a lot of not power, but a lot of preference, but she can still be played in the mid lane. It's just that in the jungle you have a much free time, an easier time being able to clear the jungle, to get towards your power spikes, to get towards your power. In the mid lane you can do that, but when you're against some champions that have control, that have pushed like the Rise, like you lose a lot of potential to go around the map and try and get priority. So that's kind of the fear with the Diana, but she still can work well in the mid lane. Against the Rise though, like there's the chance that you just get completely pushed, the Rise out roams you, and then with the Viego you just begin losing everywhere in the map. That's kind of the biggest worry with the Rise.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see how they end up piling in around that. But I mean, and at the end of the day, really everything that we were talking about before still applies. You do have that black shield, which is just gonna give Diana a free pass to get into that back line. And as well, being in the mid lane might even enable Alor to kind of level up even faster, right? Get to those
Yeah.
power spikes quicker. So that might even be a bit of a better move. Just have Gwen in that jungle so that she can just use her ultimate to kind of get those slows going. Still got that Shen shield. It doesn't matter if he's in that top lane, mid lane, or in the support role. That's really, at the end of the day, all that we're kind of looking out for. But we will have to see how this ends up going down. I will say, though, it's definitely going to be interesting to see this bot lane playing out, right? Because it's like, even though, like you were saying, right, if Snort Crayons can kind of get ahead with this Jinx, it's just going to be a field day for him. But
Yeah.
going up against Morgana, just that Black Shield just negates so much of both of Fire Streak and Crayons' kits.
Yeah, like the value of the Morgana in this game can be so high, and not only those champions, but even a ward can get denied, Stubby can get denied. So the Morgana is going to be potentially the most important part of the out of this composition with the Black Shield and who the Black Shield falls into. If you can get so much value out of that, then you essentially can just make your ally immortal, and they will not suffer any consequences out of that. And another thing that you have to be worried about is the Gwen, because the Gwen, as everyone knows, and maybe love or hate, I don't know, I don't care about the champion that much, but the Gwen has the potential to always be able to kill a lot of targets when it looks like she will not be able to survive or get out of a sticky situation. So if she can get on top of the Jinx as well, even if the Diana is not able to, like, she's another target for the Shen to stand united into and play around the Gwen. The only thing that the Gwen worries me is that Gwen works really well in the jungle with someone that can support her effectively. And if the Morgana is focused on playing with the Diana, with the Caitlyn, then Gwen being left alone is probably not the best of situation.
That's gonna be interesting. Also, I feel like just talking about Shen with Stand United, Gragas, especially Stubby's gonna have a lot of these abilities that are gonna be able to kind of cancel
Yeah.
the channeling itself. So definitely, first ET is gonna have to be careful where he's using. You can't just kind of use it mid lane when it's like the time is dire, because then next thing you know, you've just got Stubby jumping on you, just canceling that. And then not only did you just waste your ultimate, but then whoever you're trying to ult is probably about to die.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I can see happening and what I would be worried about if I'm from the side of Fever, of Collective Calamity.
Yeah, so they are going to have to be careful about that. But overall, we've seen the drafts. You've heard from TDS who maybe you should put your money on. And the only way to find out how it's going to go down is to just be on the Rift. So we'll throw it to a short break. It's just tiny measly break, I promise. And then when we're back, we'll be on the Rift for game 2. We'll see you guys there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is it, game two.
30
And
seconds
already we're
until
looking to
minions
start it off with a
spawn.
bit of a bang here. We got that full man invade going on, but the ward will spot them out. So that's going to be a no-go for that. But I like to see the aggression already coming out from
Yeah.
the side of Collective Calamity.
A level 1 is a level 1. It can work out, it may not, but at least it shows ambition. And I like
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, as well, when you've got Morgana, right, that Dark Binding, you hit
it.
one
Yeah.
member with that and they are just done. Like, you could just step away from the keyboard, waste
Minions
those
have
couple of seconds
spawned.
because you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, you're essentially going to see your whole life flashing through your eyes while you're still stuck in the dark binding. So, hey,
It is what it is. However, yeah, already okay. They did put a little bit of fear into the moments though. Gordon and Fire Streak are like they're not even trying to push up. They were waiting to see if there's gonna be like a little bit of a re-engage. Nothing gonna
they can
happen
get
there
that.
though. Yeah, so always better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
So
Like, if they died because of just walking way too far forward, it would feel actually quite bad.
oh yeah, that'd be
I would feel
embarrassing.
quite bad if it was me.
Yeah, that'd be embarrassing to say the least. But we do see so Walling starts almost likely honestly both maybe going to be pathing kind of to that mid slash top lane. I'm a little surprised honestly. I feel like if anything, Fever would kind of want to once again try and get their ball lane ahead. But who am I to judge?
Maybe it's last time they kind of played towards the balding. They want to stop any potential from the Diana from maybe snowballing or try
Hmm.
and put pressure towards the Gwen if she's pathing topside. Because one thing that Viego does do is a full clear. I feel like full clear is probably easier with the red buff than with the blue buff as well.
That's true. That's true. Already we do see those dark bindings landing, and honestly, the side of Collective Calamity, they're just gonna let the wave kind of push in. They're like, hey, come on, go ahead, come to our tower, make it a lot easier for Gordon to pull up into this bot lane and take you out. A lot of damage coming out from Stubby already. Oh, that's something in my throat there. Excuse me. Good God. Okay, there we go. Now we're back. They're trying to take me out. They didn't want me casting this one. Let's see.
Yeah.
So far, it's just chill time once again. Those crescent strikes are going to do a little bit of damage onto a ward. And so if you are on the side of Collective Calamity, what are we trying to do kind of in these first 10 minutes? What do you feel?
I feel like they want to play this game slowly to a certain degree. Like, yes, the Diana may want to force some plays. She's not running Ignite, so maybe she's not that looking for aggressive plays.
Hmm.
But the Shen just wants to get to reach level 6. The Gwen wants to reach level 6 and one first component. And the Killing and the Morgana want to just push the wave. They are being pushed into their turret, so actually quite a nice job by both the Jinx and the Thresh. But ideally, this early game for them, it shouldn't be that active just because they really don't have parts that want to be that proactive apart from maybe the Diana.
Yeah, no greedy solo lanes this time around. No one's got Ignite. It's really only these kind of team, I should say team summoner spells. First, ET and Allure, like you were saying. No Ignite, both got rocking that TP. So the double TP really for first ET when you think about it. It's going to be interesting to see how he ends up utilizing that. And the same kind of deal for Award and Stubby, both running that TP as well. Yeah, it's really just chill time. It's really just gonna kind of come down to where the junglers decide to gank first. And taking a little glance at that mid lane, we might just see something going down there. But as well as this bot lane as well, there. Very nice hook does connect. The Black Shield will come out. And now they're gonna try and turn the offensive here. Cooper has pulled down, but without the ultimate, I don't really know if they're gonna be able to do much. Yep, they are gonna go ahead and just use that lance. So the flash did come out from Fire Streaks to get a little bit of that extra distance. Don't know if it was necessarily
I
needed.
like that better.
Yeah, better than safe than sorry. Once again, Travis did burn the flash as well beforehand, so it's not for naught.
Yeah, and actually quite liked what Fire Streaks did there with the they lose the cannon.
No, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I liked what Fire Streaks did there with the hook to try and maybe force a trade happening, and forcing out the flash out of Travis really sets up for a potential play because look at bot lane, the Viego is already down there as well.
Yeah. So once again, we do see just so much vision though does come out from actually from Collective Calamity this time around, realizing just how important that is. So they don't want to be ganked anytime soon. So the moment Viego does step into that tri-bush there, hold up, the Award might have stepped out a bit too far. The dash comes out, the flash, with no ignite, but he's still gonna get it, but will go down. Yeah, it did. You fly, I'm not. That's really unfortunate. Should have brought that ignite. So we will get that first blood, but we'll get refragged from Award. Very nicely done. That first dragon is up, but neither team looking to contest it too hotly just yet. And I mean, honestly, Cooper realizing that the moment that Gordon even steps foot anywhere within like a 2-yard radius of that river, they're gonna know just with all those
Yeah.
wards that they've got down.
Like they know essentially if Gordon is doing anything illegal, like they are going to know. They will
Caught in
watch him
4K, dude.
anything. Yeah, exactly. Like they know wherever Gordon will try to do, whatever he will try to do. So he has to play on the opposite side. And that's why he's going towards the subs. And it's not only because of the camps spawning, but he really cannot achieve to do anything down there in the bot lane. So he needs to try and move around, maybe look for another play, or just clear and back and maybe force a play later on. But Luke is coming back.
Yep,
Guess who's
Cooper
back?
is. Well, yeah, I guess who's back again? And it's Cooper, ladies and gentlemen. But Directive Cam is like, no, we don't want to see it. They did drop down the Dark Binding. Hold up, is gonna connect. Very nicely done, and that's a lot of damage coming out. And boom, baby, there goes Ice Snore Crayons. Nothing they could do. The lantern was already burned to kind of get them into the radius of the tower, but it wasn't enough distance. And so Crayons will go down. He will be snorting Crayons no longer, or at least until now when he's back up.
Yeah, and honestly, really badly done by Snort Crayons because you have to flash away. Like, you know the play. Oh,
yeah. Oh, Mooncrash coming down, though. And speaking of flashing away, Award does not have a flash to get out, but he does have his two teammates.
Lord.
Gordon and Stubby are there. That flash coming out from Stubby. A very nice ult is going to push him away. That Black Shield getting popped. Stand United, everything getting popped to keep Allure alive. Is it going to be worth it, though? Allure, I don't think it's going to get the kill here. Gordon's going to go down, though. Very nice. So they will still get one. It wasn't the intended target necessarily from Allure. Did want to get his mid laner out of the game, but they will get Gordon. And that most likely should mean a free dragon for the side of CC. But it's not looking like they're going to decide. Yeah, they're actually not going to go for it.
Yeah, and I can kind of understand respect, especially because the Diego's already up.
Oh, Stubby? No, he rolled it just a bit too late. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, the fact that they have so many low health members and they are really not in the best of spots to try and rush the dragon down, probably means that they don't want to risk it. Like, they got the kill, they're in a good spot, they don't need to overcommit for a play, and instead are just going to willingly back off, try and set up once again for the dragon, and play towards a better moment to go for the dragon. Like, they still have so much vision control down here in the bot side. They have to ping ward set up really well to know if the Diego is close by. So this dragon shouldn't be at a really high risk of going down unless it really goes really well prepared and noticed.
Yeah, so look at that. Gordon just farming up a little bit more, realizing doesn't do as much damage as he hoped he did. Fire Streaks needs to be careful. Cooper waiting for the time to strike. Bully pulling up as well, and this might just spell the end for Fire Streaks if he's not careful. But Directed Cam doesn't want us to see it just yet. There we go. Now we get to see it, and it's like I predicted because Fire Streaks is going to be taken out. But they did get Allure in that mid lane. Directed Cam was like, you get one or the other. Take your pick.
Yeah, we were going to see one, but we did see one, so that's what matters, right?
Yeah,
still
exactly.
Really nice pick on the mid lane, and this is important because Diana, even though she got a kill, the first blood onto the Ryze, it probably shouldn't have happened. Ryze misplayed a little bit there, but still.
Yeah.
If the Diana doesn't get a little bit of farther ahead, like she's not going to be having a fun time in this game. And like we pointed out in the draft, in the jungle she has an easier time collecting items, getting farm, getting gold. In the mid lane, it's going to be harder. So even though you can pull it off, it's going to be actually quite hard for her to have an impact before 15 minutes, potentially.
Yeah, exactly. If he's not ahead, then it's going to be a lot harder. It can't just be kind of stacking up those camps. Yeah. And it's, speaking of stacking camps, we've got Gordon and Award looking to get that Rift Herald. However, Allure, Cooper realizing something is up here, looking to move in. Stubby pulling up to the party as well. And there we go. Rift Herald will go into the hands of Fever. Very nice. And so with that, most likely going to kind of hold on to it, sit and wait. Maybe place in mid lane, try and get some pressure going so that they can go for that dragon, but we'll have to see how Gordon ends up using it.
I would like for them to try and take down the mid lane turret as soon as possible because it also opens up for the Ryze to have an easier time moving around. Oh, the hook.
Oh, double little stun here landing. Bully will drop the Black Shield, which will protect her from the fire chompers, though. Very nicely predicted. And so, unfortunately, nothing really going to come out of that.
Yeah, and I like the Chompers combination that you have with the Thresh, but this Morgana just makes it so useless. Like, you can really do anything with the Jinx unless you out-attack because you're just getting your whole damage denied by the Morgana.
Yeah, that's true. That's that Black Shield like we were talking about, especially in the draft. It's just such a big obstacle for the side of Fever, who have so much kind of CC-based stuff coming out. However, Collective Calamity is on that dragon right now, have been spotted out now, so Gordon, Fire Streaks, and Ice Storm Crayons are going to have to think of a plan of attack. Going to try and seal it. Oh, that was close. Not quite going to get it, though. The smite will come out from Cooper, and they'll secure themselves the dragon.
Yeah, really nice timing by the Dragon, but that was actually close. And funnily enough, I do want to talk about that ping ward that they put down for the Dragon, because it's not actually noticing the ward. So pay attention to how you place your pings, because there's spots where you actually don't get the vision.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just noticing it as well. That vision is still, that ward is still giving plenty of vision in there, and because of that, Crayons was able to almost time that right. I honestly want to look at that replay later and see just how low it was. But now we do see the double jungler setup here. Actually, it's looking like Gordon realizing we're in a bit of a bad spot. Maybe not. Yeah, we're about to find out who wins this. Gonna miss that ult though. Crayons will flash, but will get hit by the dark binding. That might just spell the end for him. The ultimate both coming out. Gonna go gold with the chains, but it's not gonna be enough. That's 2 down, and Fire Streaks will be the only one alive to tell the tale. And a ward, they're looking to take him out as well. Gonna hit him with the Everfrost, and that's just gonna be able to deter Allure from pushing any further.
Yeah, and once again, really nice play by Cooper. And this is the advantage that you have with the Shen. It's not a 3v3, it's a 4v3. It just immediately becomes better for them. Oh, Bully. It's a flash steal.
Bully? Just barely gonna miss that dark binding.
It's a tap dancer. He just dancing around them, ignoring the abilities from the Morgana. Really nicely done.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it is chill time still in this top lane. Really haven't seen anything kind of going down other than the Stand United getting popped. It's really just been both top laners kind of farming once again. I mean, it's kind of evident by the fact that First ET has 3 assists and nothing's really gone down in the top lane itself.
Yeah. And funnily enough, even with the 3 assists, I think he's still behind in gold to the Dragon. Yeah, he's almost a 1,000 gold down.
Oh my god. Yeah, yes, indeed, still down. However, this time around, not that big of a gold difference as in comparison to game 1. Fever's still up in gold, about just about 0.8k, I should say, not 8k. That would be astonishing, honestly. That would be astonishing at 12 minutes. But they are ahead nonetheless. Go ahead and drop that lantern. Just go ahead. Looks like the fall back, and it's just back to kind of chill time. A lot of damage coming out from a ward. Gonna hit him with the Everfrost. So much damage coming out. A ward might just get the kill, but the flash will come out. And Allure will just barely survive that one. But I don't know if Stubby's surviving this one. Might not come out alive here. Gonna drop down the ultimate to buy himself some time. Yeah, he's just gonna walk away from that like it was nothing. But I don't know if Travis is walking away from that one. Gonna sidestep the ult. Very nicely done. Crayon's getting lower and lower. The chains are coming out. Dropping the lantern, but he's cut off from the lantern, and boom, baby. Crayons is gone, and now Fire Streak. Okay, he sidestepped the trap. I see that. And the Dark Binding isn't up quite just yet. Needs to hit it close range. It's going to connect, and that's a double kill. Bully, Bully still gets out of that one. Very nicely done. Travis even, did you see that Travis dropped the Mastery 7 even before they got the kill? He had so much faith in Bully.
Yeah, I just gotta say, Travis did nothing. Like, I just want to point this out. Travis just run away, popped ultimate, and took the credit for it. Bully essentially carried that fight. Like, he solo killed the Jinx, essentially, and then was able to get the kill into the Thresh. Like, Bully, I give full credit to Bully in that play because it was on Bully. Really nicely played by the Morgana, getting that 2v2 advantage in a play that was set up by the side of Fever. Like, they were waiting on the push. They got the upper hand onto the killing, but they could not get the kill. And it's the item difference. Like, the Jinx is 1,000, no, less than 1,000 gold, 600 gold below the killing, but she doesn't have her mythic completed, and that lack of damage really meant that she couldn't get that kill onto the killing quick enough.
Yeah, indeed, and paid the ultimate price for it. Does go down. Jinx already in 0-3 position, not something you want to be at as a Jinx as well. Not quite going to be snowballing. We do have Cooper already on that 3-0, and same with Travis. So they are definitely going to they're going to be forces to reckon with, to say the least. Now we do have Cloud Drake coming up in 45 seconds, so that means it's going to definitely be an interesting soul, to say the least, as long as it's not Cloud Soul. Everything's good as long as it's not. That would be cool. That would definitely be cool.
I love Hextech so much. Like, I love the idea of the portals being able to make plays happen. Dude, I just hope it's Hextech.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting to see. We do see that the mid laners have kind of shifted down their dance into the bot lane, actually. So we might just see some lane shifting action here. Traps coming out, and they're looking to maybe make a play in this mid lane here. They have that control ward down, so they know that there's no vision in this river bush. But it's just a bit too far away, and now we do see the majority of Fever kind of collapsing into this top river as Riftchild has just spawned. Yeah, might just trade OBJs here. Let them have that Cloud Dragon, and instead they'll be able to stack whichever is the next dragon, and they will be able to go ahead and just grab Rift Herald. There shouldn't be any contest. Yeah, no, it's just gonna be a trade.
Yeah, and I'm not fully against this play from the side of Fever, because if you do get the Herald to... Oh,
Oh, the Jinx
nice.
Rocket, can he steal it?
He got
No
it?
way!
What?
No way! No, oh my god, Directed Cam just trolled us, bro. I actually
Yeah,
wanted to see
what?
that. There is no universe. It was not a trade, TDS. It was just a full-blown takeover. Jinx
Just like
stealing
that.
the dragon. Oh my god.
Like, just like that, a play that could beneficiate both teams turns immediately into a play that just beneficiates Fever. Like, just like that, really nice rocket. And just like you said, why is directed camera just pointing towards subside? Like, show us the dragon getting stolen. What?
Yeah, that speaking of directors, though, we got our producer whipping out the gold over time charts. I see you, man. And once again, no surprise, Fever is in the lead with gold almost the majority of the time. We do see CC manage to get that upper hand for just a smidgen of a second. But then Fever doing what they do best, getting that gold. They are going to steal that dragon. But this time around, they are very far behind on kills. So they are going to need to step it up if they want to stay ahead in this game.
Yeah, this time around, like, there's a really nice scaling potential on the side of Fever, so they need to be able to stay up in the game, stay close to the game, because I feel like if you just don't get towards a gold lead at least at 25 minutes, like, it's going to be hard for Rio. Like, I think they have good champions to kill the Jinx and kill the Ryze, but it's Jinx and Ryze. They scale quite well as champion.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like they got to get him into a position where they can really
Even
start
Diego.
doing some damage. Yeah, that's true. Even Viego as well. And he does have that shield bow, so it's going to be a lot of sustainability. And I believe he might just be building it to an Essence Reaver next, it looks like. Does have the Sheen, so we'll have to see what that is going to turn into. I think it's going to be an Essence Reaver. Wouldn't surprise me there. And I mean, makes sense with a lot of the teammates here, except for Shen really being kind of like the main tank here, so to speak. However, the 3-0 Gwen and the 3-0 Caitlyn still looking pretty dangerous. Have a juicy little shutdown on them that I'm sure the entirety of Fever is looking to cash in, but they need to find a good opportunity to do so.
They need to find a good angle. The thing is that they don't need to overcommit as long as the Jinx is not strong enough. Like, you really don't go for that.
Oh, they are going for this one, though. They did get a lore stuck under the turret. Mooncraft's going to go down, but it doesn't matter. Too little, too late. But Gordon, no, why did you hit the turret? Oh, just going to get out of that one. The shield bow will get popped. I was a little worried there. Stubby in a bad spot, but the lantern, let's go. Fire Streak's like, I got you, bro. Just going to toss that lantern, get Stubby out of that bad spot. Now we do see Crayons is doing quite a bit of damage, actually, on Travis, despite Travis being those 3 kills ahead. Definitely still needs to be careful. Crayons is not going to take that abuse lightly. He will remember that.
Yeah, he will remember certainly that. In the meanwhile, Ryze taking down both turrets down in the bot lane. Like, map-wise, the movements from the side of Fever have been better. They have collected the turrets. They have been able to get a lot of value just getting those objectives down. And now setting up for that potential Drake in 2 minutes. Still wide away from being able to collect that dragon, but they are setting themselves up to get that sooner.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, once again, right, it's just, I mean, at this point, broken record, as I keep saying, like, it's just the goal difference is there once again for Fever, though. It's like, and they get the double turrets, so that's just even more gold going into their pocket, right? They really, the side of CC needs to be careful there.
Yeah, and I actually want to point out something again, because we saw this in the previous game, and we're seeing it again. Each lane is winning, CS-wise. The Jinx has an advantage being 0-3 to the Caitlyn. That's not normal to happen ever.
Exactly. Still winning in farm. They're winning in tower. Same with the mid lane. That tier 1 is still up in the mid lane. Top lane as well. The tier 1 is gone from the side of CC. So just overall, it's like, it's crazy. If you would blur out like the kills, right? I would. We do have a bit of a pause. Okay, let's see. I don't know what's going on.
The Cooper is writing on all chat. I don't know about you all, but I like the Bengals chance.
Okay. Oh wait, the football reference is coming out here. Wrong game.
Yeah.
That's not the right game. Let's go. I believe
Close
it is.
enough, right?
Or I might be wrong. Let's go, Real Madrid. What is happening?
He's just speaking more my language. I'm more into
Yeah,
that
I
kind
feel
of
that.
football.
I feel that. What is going on here? Let's keep it in league. Keep it league only in this chat.
Yeah,
Oh my
we
God.
don't go for real sports. Those are sports for other people. We focus
Boring,
on League of
dude.
Legends.
Boring, dude. Yeah, for real. But Yeah, so we are just waiting a moment here. We're gonna wait a small amount of time here. If it does end up going a little bit longer than expected, we'll just throw it to a quick break. We don't really have reports in on who had to back out there for a moment. That being
Yeah, we
said,
just
though,
know
I
that it
mean,
happened.
yeah, exactly. So that being said, though, we can kind of just talk about real quick. How are you feeling about Fever's chances right now? They do have a very large gold lead. Kill wise, they're not looking so good. Still need to shut down the Caitlyn and the Gwen. Do you think they can do it?
I feel like there's like their composition is built around being able to fight. So as long as they can get into a position to fight and utilize the flanks effectively with the Diana and the Wen, the Stand United, and the Morgana Black Shield, like
Mm,
they can still win fights. My worry is that Diana is actually quite behind. Like she has the what is called the Proto Belt. I'm
yeah,
not sure if it's Proto Belt anymore, but yeah, Proto
yeah,
Belt.
yeah. The Proto Belt.
And even though she can get onto some champions, like I'm not sure if she's going to be able to deal quite enough damage to burst out those champions at this point in the game. Like Jinx is getting stronger, the Rice is getting stronger, the Gragas is not going to die like that. The Viego has the shield bow, so his survivability is actually quite high. And the Thresh can deny you quite easily if you don't have the Black Shield on top of you. So it's going to be quite risky. It's going to be quite hard. There's chances, but I feel like Fever is just controlling the pace of the game and the way that the game needs to be played really well.
Well, speaking of the pace of this game, it's looking like it's still going to be a bit. So we'll throw it to a quick break, and then when we are back, we will be back, I should say, with game 2. We'll be back in this thing. So we'll see you guys in a moment. All right, you already know we couldn't keep you guys waiting too long. We are back now that things have been resolved. We can get right back into the action. So let's see what we got here going on. All right, so it's still kind of chill time. We haven't missed much. We were just talking about how we were feeling about Fevers. I keep wanting to say Fervor, and I don't know why, but it is Fever. Fever's chances to get back into this game, and they might just be getting larger now. They do land the hook on Allura. Zap comes out as well, but they are going to try. They are not going to try. They will get Ice Storm Crayons. Storm's Crayons no longer. They are going to hook Allura, pull him in, but it's just so much shielding coming out. The taunt as well. Oh, first streak is gonna go down as well. Now looking to connect it onto Stubby. Gonna have to flash over that wall. Warrior's trying to do as much damage as he can, but it's just not gonna be enough. Are gonna have to back off, and that's a 2-0 for the side of Collective Calamity. Things are not
Yeah.
looking too good for
And
Fever.
that pick perfectly answers the question of if Diana will be able to pull it off. And she pulls it off. Like, she just engages on the Jinx and gets the kill down. Really nicely done by the Diana. Really nicely executed by the side of...
Oh, Gordon getting close on the bully here. Gonna drop
Yeah,
that
the
black shield
ulti.
though, and goodbye.
What?
You're gone. It's just, that was not the move to make jumps into the masses and gets punished for it accordingly. And just like that, Fever's chances are looking worse and worse.
Yeah, just like that, it turned around completely. It's not yet a gold lead for the side of Collective Calamity, but at least we now know that if Jinx is not 100% in a good spot, she's dying. Like, she's dead.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw it there as well. It's like the moment that Allure got onto her, drops down the moon, crash. Unfortunately, Crayons needs to flash to get out of that, but it's just not enough distance to cover. Still gets caught and gets taken down, and then that just spells absolute disaster for Fever as they're just taken out, dismantled one by one. Speaking of that, though, they're looking to try and take out Stubby. You're going to use that blast cone, but it doesn't matter because Stubby can just jump over the wall like it's nothing. How could such a large man be so agile, man? You tell me.
Like, it's not about the size that he has, it's about how he uses it, right? He's able to just be nimble like the wind.
Damn. Yeah, indeed, indeed. He is just such grace
Yeah,
coming from this
gracefully
very large
escaping.
man. Gracefully skipping away with a huge flask in his hands. Love to see it.
Like,
And
in
he's
reality, I
Mhm.
think Gragas is just big so that he can give chances to his opponent. Like, that way, it's more fair.
It's more fair that they can try and let skill shots on him. Exactly. He's gotta give him. He's gotta play with a bit of a handicap there if he doesn't want to, win
Yeah.
too badly. He doesn't want to make it too unfair. Speaking of that, though, Bully needs to be careful. Okay, I was a little worried that he might get spotted out there and taken out, but nothing quite going to come out of that one. Now it's just kind of back to chill time here as we wait 3 minutes for the next dragon to come up. Baron is online, so perhaps we will see the side of Collective Calamity try and start out and take this Baron, or maybe we see Fever kind of try and be a little more proactive here. We'll have to wait and see.
We need to think for Baron attempts about who can rush them down. Like, who has the better potential to rush down the Baron. I feel like for the side of Collective Calamity, they actually have quite a nice Baron potential with the Caitlyn, with Diana, with the Gwen. Like, those three champions, they do a lot of single target damage that
Yeah,
you can take advantage of and try and take down the objective. The only problem is if they can survive for long enough, right? Like, they are not the
yeah,
champions, so they
that's true.
need to be careful about how they go for that.
Yeah, definitely have to kind of really decide who they want to use that last stand on. Is it going to be that Diana who tries to kind of rush in, do a lot of damage with the moon crash? However, they're going to try and get a first pick here. Going to drop that realm warp and just get out of
It's
there.
fine.
Close call. Yeah, Award realizing, damn, I want to get out of here. Might not be the best spot. Almost gets collapsed on, but gets out to safety. And so with that, no pick's going to come out on the side of CC. And they're just going to probably bide their time. 2 more minutes until Dragon is up. And so it's really just going to be a little more chill time until that gets up here.
Yeah, not really much happening apart from the dragon fight, which kind of surprises me from the side of Collective Calamity. Like, I think that they have good pickup
Yeah.
potential. Like, they can even look for the Gragas, and I think like they can kill him.
Yeah, honestly, it's like you think that, like, especially with it being 3-11, that like Collective Calamity would be really aggressive, but they're like, you know what, we're not gonna risk anything. We don't want to risk that 250 extra kind of bonus gold going into the hands of anyone from the side of Fever. Same thing with the Caitlyn as well, right? You don't want to hand out gold for free. That's never a good move, especially to a team like Fever who loves to be ahead in gold anyways. But that being said, that the gap between the two when it comes to gold is getting ever so smaller. Now it's only, I say only 2K, but I mean we've kind of seen higher numbers coming out from Fever. So at this point, that is definitely kind of something to be astonished at.
Yeah, it's not super high, but it's not super low either. So we need to still keep our attention on the gold difference. And now finally we will get a dragon fight. So we're
Mm,
going to see if the Diana will get another opportunity to go for this fight. And I wanted to talk about this, but I love this from the Jinx, the Hex Drinker. You need this
mm.
quite a lot for the for the Diana and for the Gwen as well.
Yep, absolutely. Honestly, I was gonna say it would be nice to also see him maybe whip out the QSS. That might also be quite helpful against the Morgana. But honestly, there's just so much CC that if you get hit by just one thing alone, you're pretty much done. Speaking of that, the Black Shield was popped just a bit too late. Cooper did get hooked, but they're looking to go in here. So many chains, but a very nice ultimate from Stubby, buying themselves a lot of room. Gonna go gold, and they will get that first kill on Bully, who was just in a bit of a bad spot. And now with the reset, they can try to do some damage here. First ET can take it pretty low. Viego ultimate, boom! There's the Heartbreaker. Gotta keep going. Then they get 3 members. Gonna try and maybe make it 4. Realm Warp. Can they get into a good spot? They can indeed. They cut off Cooper. Gonna go immune. But what are you gonna do once you leave the field? That's right, nothing. You're just gonna die instead, because down goes Cooper. And just like that, TDS Fever does it again. It looks like they were behind, but once again, they come out on top. Gonna grab themselves the drag. They just have a lore to deal with if they want to get that ace, but Bully will respawn, and we might just see them go for a Baron here as well.
Yeah, and I feel like they can rush it down. Like, even if the first CT has teleport, like, you can just go for it. Ryze should be here as well to quickly get it down, but we saw how well the Ryze played that. I think Gordon played that really well, but I want to give my complete credit to Sabi. He played that team fight in the most beautiful way. The nimble fat man, essentially. He played that as well as he could, got the barrel down, got so much control down into the Gwen. Like, they were able to win that fight so effectively thanks to him.
Yeah, absolutely. That was such a beautiful ultimate coming out from him, which bought them so much space. We saw Bully did pop those the dark binding chains, right? Not the dark binding.
Yeah.
What am I saying? Gosh, what is it? Now I forget what it's called. The soul shackles.
Yeah.
I forget exactly what it's called, but you know what I'm trying to say. Pops the ultimate, right? But it's just then Stubby's like, no, we don't do that around here. Drops down his own ultimate, pushes away 4 members from the side of CC, which puts Bully in such a bad spot, which allows Gordon to get the kill, get the reset, and then they're just able to chain it. Boom, boom, boom. Picking up 3 more kills. Very nicely done. And just like that, honestly, not only Fever is definitely back in this game to stay, now it's a 6K goal lead.
I guess what? Jinx didn't get any kill, but she's becoming a champion slowly. Like, she just needs 1 more item, and those rockets will hurt quite a lot. She's probably going to get that right now.
Yeah, she's that old PC with all the malware on it, right? You're booting it up, you're waiting for antivirus programs to get rid of it. Slowly coming online, just give them a little bit of time. But once she gets there, she's gonna be a menace, to say the least. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just as much as I want to be like, you know, CC, they knew what they were doing. Right now, things are not looking good. You've got an almost 7K goal lead coming out from Fever. They dominated that team fight, showing that it does not matter how grim things look. Fever is always there to crank up the heat.
Yeah, they are not going to be affected by a Fever. They are going to try and win the game pretty effectively. So hopefully they can do something like this once again. But just to try and look at the positive side for Collective Calamity, like, Diana didn't get a good angle for an ultimate. She was essentially stopped completely by the Gragas. So if in the next fight, she can actually get value out of her ultimate and get on top of the Jinx, maybe there's a good opportunity for Collective Calamity to win that fight.
Yeah, definitely. It ain't over till it's over, right? We've seen a lot of team fights still being won by Collective Calamity. So if they play their cards correctly and anticipate what's to come, they might still be able to come out ahead, but their window of opportunity is slowly being closed, and Fever's looking to nail it shut. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, they're saying. And now Cooper, the best spot, but is dropping the immune field, so should be okay. The Halo protection, yeah, Gordon can't quite get into there, can't really make anything happen. Is gonna just cut down huge minion wave. Look at all those traps there in that mid lane. It's just like you do not get to step foot, but it doesn't matter. But they are looking to go in. Oh my god, the lanterns from Fire Streaks though are just coming in clutch constantly.
And he lost a turret.
Yeah, exactly. Turret does go down because that Baron empowered cannon minion was like, dude, that's fine. I don't need to come close to your traps, bro. I'm gonna just chill back here, take shots at the turret. And so they are gonna rip that one though. That one will go down. Allure trying to clear this wave as well though. Needs to be careful. And right now it's really just a game of chicken at the moment. Who's gonna engage first? So we'll just have to wait and see. Next drag up in 1.5 minutes. Yet another Infernal Dragon. Honestly, for both teams, that is just huge to have. And yeah, we see the pings coming out already from the teams that they realize, yeah, we got to start getting these picks. We got to start getting control of the map. And honestly, Fever could just sit back and relax right now, really. Maybe not relax. Maybe you don't want to put your feet up just yet. It's not over till it's over. But if they keep playing the way they have been, then they might just be taking this one home.
Yeah, they don't need to walk way too far forward. They don't need to push the issue. They just need to set themselves up for another teamfight win. They just need to back off, get words, get control, get items, and just be ready to fight the team fights in the future. Also, quickly to point out, I love this itemization by the Gragas. I love the Sonja so much. You
Mm.
really, even though you're tank Gragas, like you are an AP carry in some sense, or an AP champion in some sense. So getting the value out of the Sonjas, the extra armor, and trying to dissuade so much damage coming into you if you ever misstep can be so much more valuable for the side of Fever.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, Fever will have to hold the line here with the drag coming up in 27 seconds. Gordon gonna drop down the Hallowed Mist here. Oh my god, Bully is just the lead. He's getting bullied instead, but a very nice Mooncrash comes down, taking out the ADC very nicely done. But Cooper incredibly low with so much healing coming out. Doesn't matter though, gets cut down, and so does Allure. That's just another kill coming out. However, Stubby will take the fall for his brothers. A heroic sacrifice. Can they get first ET? I'm not sure. Gonna hit that blast cone. Gonna back off with Travis, the two surviving members, and that should be yet another dragon in the hands of Fever.
Allure may have gotten one of the most important highlight plays that he could have gone for, but it doesn't matter. Howard is still alive. You still have Gordon getting so much done, and we see the value out of the zone. Just like it bought a lot of time in that fight. They were able to make the most out of the pick off that they got out of the bully, and they were able to dissuade the fight, win the fight in the long run, and then look into the dragon. Even if they lost a couple of members, like it doesn't matter. You still get the dragon. You put yourself in soul points, and the game can still go on. Like the side of Fever is still getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, exactly. There's no end to how strong they're gonna get. They're honestly just they're playing a time game and they're winning it as well. And like you were saying, right? I mean, people tend to forget kind of like you've got the Zonias, which gives you invulnerability for 2.5 seconds. Like most team fights only really last for like a good 5 to 6 seconds. That's like half the team fight that you're buying yourself time, and you're putting so much pressure in this case on Collective Calamity that realize the moment you're not gold anymore, you're just going to be doing even more damage, tanking even more damage, and so they have to deal with you. And I mean, it worked out perfectly there in that case.
Yeah, those are that kind of timeout that you put yourself into is so valuable, and that's why we see so much saturation of the stopwatch. Like the value that you get out of that in most teamfights is so important.
Absolutely. Now we do have Baron coming up, so most likely probably see Fever just looking to rush it once again. However, they are a little bit scattered across the map at the moment. We do have Gordon just farming up that jungle a little bit. We've got Stubby just pushing that bot lane, looking to apply as much pressure as they can in every single lane before they maybe take a move, or make a move, I should say, excuse me. Because right now, we're still at the point, you know, I'm never going to say it's over till it's over, right? It's like, hey, you never know. We've seen Fever come through with some crazy fights. I'm sure we could see Collective Calamity do the same if they play their cards correctly. And it's looking like that first step is to take Baron here, as they're going to have first ET chilling in that bot lane, looking to stop the wave and have stand united just in case. Got TP as well. You never know, just in case something happens, because they do have Stubby there, who was most likely probably anticipating that the first stand will come out. Not first stand. The United, stand united. Oh my god, I can't even speak. Come out there. And so, yeah, okay. But the TP coming out from Stubby instead, he's like, dude, I'm not even going to wait. Let's maybe get this party started. Stubby looking if he can maybe make something happen here. Spots Cooper, but Cooper just going to skip and slash and hop his way back over to the base.
They can find Diana here.
Yeah, if they find Diana here, that could be huge. And Stubby, dude, he's like, come on over. Let's see what you got. Going to drop down the vision, dropping the wards here and there. And yeah, just look at that. CC knows they have to face check these bushes, which is going to buy so much time for the side of Fever if they decide to take this Baron. But no, it's looking like they're gonna bait it. They're gonna go ahead and fake it, just pretend like they're doing it. Slowly reel in the side of CC. You already see that Allure was in that top rush, kind of waiting right now.
A good spot, though.
Yeah, they're done waiting. Allure is looking to do a little steal of her own, trying to reproduce what Snort Crayons did. Does hit the Moon Crescent. Can he hit him with that? There we go. The ultimate coming out. Stand United as well. A lot of shielding. But is it on the right people? I'm not sure. Crayons goes down. Gordon getting that kill as well on Travis, though. Right now, it's still 1 for 1. Nothing's been lost. Bully is so incredibly low. Get him. There we go. That's that double kill. And now things are looking bad for the side of CC. Diego resets, though, but it's just 1 for 1 for 1. Oh my god, Gordon gets another, and now it's all up first ET. You gotta run, brother, and you gotta run fast. The Spectrum Maw is gonna connect. He's just so
Yeah,
damn
bye bye.
tanky. Oh,
Oh,
hold on. Don't say bye-bye just yet because first he's got a couple of
are
tricks
you
up
sure
his
about
sleeve.
that?
Oh, maybe not. No, I spoke too soon. It seems is gonna go down. And with that, that's a full ace. Only losing 2 members. They're like, screw the Baron. We don't need it. We're just going to push into the base itself. Gonna get this inhibitor. Mostly going to have to back off after that, though, because Travis and Bully will be back up to defend the base.
Yeah, maybe they try to go for it. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
one
true.
second for both. They are
That's
alive.
two members. Yeah, if they can mix it down. Gragas does still have the ultimate, so we might just see him use it here. Never mind. It didn't even need to ult. They just absolutely blow up Bully. Bully not living up to his name. He's the one getting bullied today. He's getting shoved into the lockers like it's nothing. The next Infernal Drake is up in 40 seconds. And
Infernal Soul,
honestly,
yeah.
yeah, they're just going to back off, grab that Infernal Soul. And if they do, then that might just be the absolute end here for Collective Calamity. Almost a 10K gold difference here. Things are looking bad for Collective right now.
Yeah, those fights, they always look quite good when our lower started and can get damage onto the Jinx, but this time around, Jinx took quite a lot to die, and even when she died, oh, Burning. Oh,
Oh,
nice.
close one, close one.
I don't think you can back as Warden at this point anymore. Like, the
Yeah.
Dragon is up. You have
Yeah,
to take
no.
it.
You got to stay at this point. And honestly, I don't
That's how
even
you
think
start
Gordon
turns.
really needs to back, right? He's looking to get that wit's end, but I don't even think he's going to need it here because Cooper,
Oh,
well, I don't know if that was the move.
Yeah.
Stan United isn't even going to go through. And just like that, that's the jungler down. You basically just gave a free dragon into the hand of Fever here. A bit of an in.
Go for a miracle play now.
Yeah, no, there's nothing they can do there. They're gonna have to give the dragon up. Need to fall back so that they don't give their lives. But it's looking a bit bad for Allure here. Might get caught out. This might just be the 1v1 of the
Who wins
century
this?
here. Who wins this? Oh, a lot of damage does
think I
come
know who.
out though. Allure looking pretty dangerous. Okay,
Oh.
pops the GA. It's gonna give him some time to run. He needs to make it fast though if he wants to get out of that one alive, and is gonna be able to get out of that one. Won't be able to recall because Gordon is on his heels. Gonna have to use that teleport.
no.
Instead. Is it gonna go? No, it's
No.
not. Oh my God, Gordon gonna hunt him down.
And
He's got the dodge, and there goes Bully as well. It's all up to Perk ET, who jumps in. Travis is like, yeah, good luck, bro. You're on your own. It's gonna go down now. It's up to Travis and Cooper. They can't do anything. The Nexus is exposed, and ladies and gentlemen, unless a miracle happens, it's looking like Fever will be taking game 2. They're just bullying at that point. Gotta get that extra kill, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, Fever take game 2, and with that, they take the series.
Yeah, in I don't want to say dominant fashion because I feel like we saw quite a good few plays from the side of Collective Calamity.
Yeah.
Like they tried a lot. Allure in this game had really nice engages, but the overall way that the game was playing out, I feel like it was always kind of in control from the side of Fever. They knew where they needed to be. Stubby was such a star player in my
Menace,
opinion. Like
bro.
in
Menace.
both games, he did so much. Even as a tank Gragas, his value and his power in teamfights was so high that
Yeah.
I could not express how much he did in that game. Then we had in the mid lane the Rise award doing so much damage, even with the a little bit of a tankier version of the Rise, but he controlled so much of the fights as well with the stun, getting 32,000 damage. That's the Rise damage in this game.
That's saying something. That's a lot of
Yeah.
damage coming out from it. And I mean, also, we got to give it to Fire Streaks, right? Those lanterns that came out as well. Though in that early game, we kind of saw a bit of a miss at times when
His
he
hooks
did
were
throw
good.
out those. Yeah, his hooks were cracked. And then when he was throwing out those lanterns, especially in that mid to late game, when he was getting people like Award and Stubby out of these bad situations, which also in turn allowed them to kind of snowball and slowly build up that lead. So that's also great to see. Crayons, even though he did go 1, 6, and 7, he still did a little bit of damage, right? He was still there
He
when
was
his
there.
team needed him. He was definitely still there. I think if we gave him a little more time, he would have definitely started really coming online. It's just not a lot that Crayons could really do, especially when Allure actually got on top of him. That being said, though, Allure did, really played his heart out. He really did try. We saw some great ultimates coming out from him. We saw those 4-men moon crashes coming down, but unfortunately, just too little, too late, right? It just, it didn't come down. And once again, I mean, do we have you? Do we got to talk about gold leads? I mean, my God, like,
It's similar to the last time, right?
yeah,
It's essentially the
exactly.
same as last game.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing 70K gold coming out from Fever, 51K coming out from CC. Like, my God, Fever was just like, at this point they could have just started being like giving him. Y'all should have just given him hand to mouth. Like, Give him like one shutdown at least. Give him a little bit of gold, please. Like they're out here, like yeah,
They gave a little bit of gold from killing the Jinx, right? Like
yes.
they were giving away that gold. It's not
That's
useful gold,
that's
but
all
they
you get.
still were giving it away.
That
Exactly.
that, like, 50 gold that you get for killing the 1/5 Jinx, that's all you're gonna get. Take it or leave it, right?
And
And it's
at
like
least I
yeah.
think Cryon's at least, even though he died, like he played the pivotal role of baiting out the enemy. Like
Yeah,
he
no, that's
was
very
such a
true.
good bait.
Yeah, they gave crayons the, like, biggest supply of crayons you could ever gotten, like, "Just here, man. You just take those, just do the thing. We don't support drugs here, you know, but it's like, just do your thing, run out there, bait them in, and then we're gonna get all the kills," and they racked up all the kills indeed. I mean, like we said, Award doing so much damage. Gordon
Yeah.
getting those resets in the team fights as well whenever they were able to catch Bully out in those terrible spots. Stubby was just the godlike ultimates, right? Buying his team so much time, so much space, popping the Zonias, just being an absolute large but Fimble menace, as we established. Nimble,
Yep.
not Fimble, excuse me. It's Fimble Winter that he built. And yeah, but overall, I do want to ask MVPs. What are you feeling? It's just
I feel
overall.
I'll take his Sabi. I think he played really well
Yeah,
this Dragon
yeah.
game. In the first game, he had some funny moments,
Some
okay,
questionable moments.
but I feel like he played really well the lane, and he did a lot of damage as well. So I feel like much more so for this game than the previous one. I think
Mm.
Sabi was MVP.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. Honestly, I was second you on that one. It's like even if he wasn't doing like some crazy damage, right? And like we were saying, he had some questionable plays there at the start,
Yeah.
right? It's just especially in game two. I mean, he was doing so much for his team. He was really just kind of like the enabler, right? He's the one like behind the scenes. He's pulling the strings and he's giving
Yep.
his team all these opportunities and these chances to get in there, do the damage they need, and just win the game. And I mean,
Which is
when
what
they
matters,
did.
right?
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, it's really did you win or not? And in this case, Fever came out on top, very nicely securing themselves yet another win. I'm sure they're feeling great. And with that, getting that 2-0, that's it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. TDS, thanks so much for being here, brother, and casting this one with me. It's great to have you
Always is
here.
nice.
Absolutely, per usual. And with that, I'm going to let you guys go. You got to get to your next class anyways. You got a little bit of recess time. We'll see you guys next week here for Sophomore Saturdays. Take it easy.